with Cody Johnson. How fitting.
It's going to be very interesting to watch, especially as we see parents start to come around. I'm assuming on a second lap. So I don't imagine him starting that far back. He had a real strong practice run. So it's been a hot second since he set that time. So he might be starting back here in the middle of the pack.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's okay. I mean, you can't hate on that. Perrin's like, I think it looks like he's qualified 14th. I think that's currently his qualifying position. But Perrin is a fast man, and he'll make his way to the front. He'll adapt and adjust, and he'll be there at the end. I'm almost sure of it. If any night it is, it's going to be tonight for sure.
Look at the times already. With just a minute ago here, I believe mostly everyone has qualified. We have a couple stragglers possibly, but the entire top 20 or so guys all within 3/10 of each other. So a very tight field. Vegas is, I don't want to call it a drafting track, but it's a very grippy track, especially depending on what line they're running. It's still bumpy in 1 and 2, but you can really get the pedal down early in 3 and 4, depending on how well you manage your tires and whatnot. So it's almost, you want to you want to be behind someone, want to save fuel on a long run down the straightaway. So we're going to see guys like Cody, I'm sure, trying to take that to most of their advantage, and you're trying to save fuel and almost draft a little bit. And you go faster, but you can also save tires. But then you go in the corner and you get tight because you're behind someone who don't have that downforce. So you're going to see a lot of guys, pretty close and almost in a pack style race. And not going to be bumper to bumper like you'd expect at Daytona or Talladega. But you're going to see, I think, a lot of pretty good sized packs here. And when you have big packs, it means you got big wrecks right along with them.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a good segue into my last monologue, actually my only monologue of the season. The end of the 2023 season is upon us, and year 2 of the league will soon be in the books. It has been an incredible ride, and drivers have set the bar incredibly high. This season, we had 18 different drivers in victory lane, 2 drivers with double-digit stage wins, and the most memorable playoff run on record. Now, with the chase narrowed down just to 3 drivers, it's easy to believe they will lay it out on the line to seal the deal and win the championship. Now, sure, tonight is about the championship and who will be crowned to reign over the Gears Cup Series in 2024. But tonight should also be considered a celebration of growth and aspirations heading into next season. With all the drama, intensity, and rivalries born this year, it has been an amazing experience to observe, and it makes me ponder what the future will look like heading into next February. Drivers who may not be in it to win it are still actively playing spoiler, and whatever Lady Luck unfolds this evening, we know one thing for sure. Hearts will be broken. Now, Brayton, to close the chapter on what has been an exciting and unforgettable experience is sad for all. But the good in this is that history is going to be made, and a new champion will rise tonight. This is the Gears Cup Series, and this is the finale. Las Vegas is up next, and they will take their warm-up as we get ready to go for 134 laps of racing. Again, I want to point out stages are at lap 15 and at lap 45. Again, Brayton, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said about 30 laps of fuel, they'll be able to make it, and then they're going to have to pit.
It's going to be tight. These guys, I went on some practice laps earlier in the horse boat courtesy car, and I was a little bit slower just because we weren't able to quite get that package, that setup we wanted on it. And so these guys are going to be a little bit quicker, I'm sure. So I was able to dial in right exactly at 30 laps on a full tank. So obviously you're going to have that caution at lap 15 around there for that first stage, and it's not going to be 30 green flag laps for that second stage. Yeah. You're going to have your 2 or 3 caution laps, and then you go back to green. So it's going to be interesting. Some of these guys, I'm sure, are going to be sweating a little bit of moisture from their foreheads and probably from their behinds as we get towards the end. It's gonna be close though. We have that 80. I'm not good at math. 89 lap run there at the end, so they're looking at about 2 stops or so for these guys before they can go from that second stage to that finishing stage. So if that goes green, you got nail 2 green flag pit stops. It looks like.
I gotta tell you, Brayton, it's wonderful to have you in the booth with all that knowledge because of your. You can do the quick math, and you also have that experience to kind of tell what's going on. So I appreciate that, and happy to have you along for the ride here tonight. Thank you again. I really didn't mention this before, but I do really appreciate you joining us, taking time out of your evening to come and commentate on this race. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I love doing this, and I'm always a sucker for watching a good show. I think that's just what we're gonna roll into here in a couple minutes.
I have to be honest, when I saw because I pay more attention to ARCA and the Truck Series rather than I do NASCAR Cup. I'll be completely honest about that. When I saw you at Daytona, I'm a big pizza guy. Pepperoni's like my thing. And I saw you, I'm like, yeah, I'm instantly a fan of this guy. I love Malcolm in the Middle, so when I saw that Frankie was in there, I had to root for him too. But Brayton, you are definitely on our list of favorites as far as ARCA goes.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always a joy to go out there and get to kind of live my dream. And I never thought I'd be able to do that. And thankfully, I've been able to partner up with a lot of really good people and a lot of good companies and organizations that support me and support my dreams.
Yeah.
So we're about to fulfill someone's dream here tonight, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Again, as you probably, I don't know if you know this, this will be a new champion. Keaton Sawyers was contending for the championship. Unfortunately, he did not make the cut going into the chase. So he was eliminated from that. He was last year's champion. So we will have a new champion here crowned tonight. Probably should have prepared a little better on that end of things. But we are here for the Gears Cup Series. As I'm going down the grid, we have 36 different drivers here tonight that are taking the field. As they start to go off on the grid, take a look at your favorite driver, as I am not going to be able to read off this in time for you guys to enjoy that. But the pole sitter tonight is Colby Hogan with Colby Hogan and Josh Cole in row 1. Mike DeWalt and Cody Johnson in row 2. I'm falling apart, Brayton. Kyle Munson and Chris Parkman in row 3. Kenneth Gallman and Jeremy Beal in row 4. And Ethan Collier and John Howard row 5.
Yeah, then we got Ryan. I'm not even going to try to announce it. John Hadwar. We're going great here. I think we're going green right
We're
here.
starting off great, Brayton.
We'll just let you guys figure it out, and as we move in the top 10, there's a lot of quick guys that look at practice times. A lot of guys that practice really well just didn't quite hit it in qualifying, starting in your lower teens, and even Perrin, for example, is starting all at 15th there. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. These guys try to move up through the field through tire or fuel saving or just pure perseverance. We've seen a lot of races like this in real life and both on our racing as we get ready to take the green here coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, pace car is off. Colby Hogan leads us down for the finale here for the Gears Cup Series and champion will be crowned tonight, and we are green flag racing. Hogan in the Wonder Bread 67 machine leading us down into turn 1.
Yeah, Mike DeWalt got a real good start there. Quickly move up to the second spot on the inside. Inside definitely has a little bit of advantage. And Cody Johnson, we talked about him, being a big fuel saver. Doesn't have to quite worry about it for the first stage, as he's now side by side with the number 13 of Chris Parkman. That's a beautiful car. As DeWalt's kind of looking for the leader.
Oh, we already have a wreck.
We
already have a wreck. Who is praying to Jesus early?
We got Fitzpatrick, we got Cutlip, we got Corey, we got Tyler Steiner back here. It's a wreck party here in turn 3 and 4.
Oh, you're bending it?
Oh my goodness, let's back it up and see what we can find. All right, let's slow this down, see what we can see.
Oh, Corey had nothing to really do with that. He was just an innocent bystander, kind of chilling, minding his own business. It looks like the 44 of Tyler Steiner just kind of went in the corner. A little bump from the Coors Light Camaro of Jonathan Militia. And that's all I needed in cold tires and kind of sent him around down to the 92. Or no, sorry, not the 92. He was behind the 92. Who was that?
Yeah, it looks like Cutlip, Rao, Fitzpatrick, and Steiner all involved in that wreck. We'll back it up one more time.
Brandon Smith got a little bit damage.
Yeah, and it looks like
Steiner kind of got his right rear, and ooh.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Let me look back one more time here.
Cutlip did get a blown motor from that, so definitely have to come down and take that one fast repair on that one. Not quick, how quick you typically want to do it. And Corey, like you said, nowhere to go really. It's kind of a blocked track. It all happened really fast. And he was kind of committed to his line. And just unfortunate for him that Cutlip just kind of came down.
Yeah, and it looks like Militia kind of gave Steiner a little bump in the back end. Might have facilitated that a little bit faster. So It is unfortunate that it happened, but again, this is the Gears Cup Series, and it's bound to happen here again. Glad that it is lap 1, but hopefully we can get that figured out here for the rest of the field. Colby Hogan is your leader going into this first caution. Again, only 1 lap in, 2 laps in now. Possibly 3 since we looked at the replay, but who the hell knows at this point.
And we had quite a few guys that actually come down to pit. Looks like fuel only for everyone except for those involved in that wreck. So we had actually 5 or 6 guys that were not involved that just came down and topped off on fuel, hoping to maybe get a quicker stop on that first stage break. Might be saving tires, not taking tires until the end of that second stage. So guys like Smith and Vander Morel, sure we're gonna go with that. Hatch, Meyer, and Holmes all kind of came down there. So 26 on back. Seemed to come down and try to get some track position. Not quite for this first stage, but put themselves in a really good spot to start that second stage here in just a couple laps.
Absolutely. Again, if you're just joining us, Colby Hogan is our leader and pole sitter. Mike DeWalt, Josh Cole, Chris Parkman, Cody Johnson, Kyle Munson, Keaton Sawyers, Ethan Collier, Kenneth Gallman, and Jeremy Beal rounding out your top 10. Brayton, just so you know, I will be utilizing our soundboard here in the Discord. So if you hear something funny coming across your headset, it's just me. If you want to play with it, go for it. I mean, we have a lot. We have a lot to play with.
The biggest loser from that wreck was Tyler Steiner, who was unfortunately the initial cause as he got a little help from the Coors Light Camaro. And he had a tow, so he's going to go 2, 3, maybe more laps down here as we get ready to start piling and stacking up again.
Yeah, I think we'll have 1 to go here at the line. Again, Colby Hogan in the Wonder Bread machine, your leader currently. Again, 134 laps of racing. Stage breaks. Stage 1 is at lap 15, and stage 2 beginning at lap 45. Again, thank you to all the 30 viewers in chat here tonight, and JH Racing, who followed about 28 minutes ago to the channel. Again, thank you so much. Again, Brayton Laster along with me tonight. As I mentioned before, with your ARCA car, the pizza car, that seriously, I think grip more people than you think, Brayton. You should really continue with that scheme if you go into 2024 with that.
Yeah, we're not really sure exactly what we're going to be doing as far as next year goes, but definitely enjoy racing in the ARCA Series and Truck Series part-time last year a little bit. So going to be interesting. The field's starting to get double file here. It seems everyone kind of recovered for the most part from that wreck, except for, like I mentioned, Steiner and Cutlip had a blown motor. He's only 1 lap down, but he's back on out at the tail end of the field here.
And something about Cutlip. Cutlip is fast, so I think if he gets his fast repair in, or able to repair, he may be able to get back in this race. Cutlip, very talented. A lot of respect thrown around in the league for Jonathan. On the front row is Colby Hogan and Mike DeWalt with Chris Parkman and Josh Cole in row 2. Kyle Munson and Cody Johnson, row 3, with Keaton Sawyers and Ethan Collier in row 4. Running out your top 10 in row 5 is Jeremy Beal and Kenneth Gallman. Pace car lights are off. They are rounding turn 4. Once that pace car hits pit lane, which they do, Geico restart zone is active, and the number 67 Toyota Camry will lead us down for a green flag restart. And here we go. Inside line as Hogan, Cole, and Johnson. Outside is DeWalt, Parkman, and Munson.
Now, the inside stacked up quite a bit there. Cody Johnson looked to get a little bit of a jump on that and try to have the same jump that Mike DeWalt. They're going stacked up heavily on the inside. They're 3 wide now for second. That's Cole, Parkman going around the outside, and then Hogan is going to lose 3, 4, maybe even 5 spots here in these opening laps from the restart. He's going to fall back quick. As DeWalt's going to take the lead here. They're 3 wide again. That's Cody Johnson, your championship contender. He's going to go for a spin.
He saves it! He saves it! I about shit my pants! Holy God! Kyle Munson in the wall, and here we go again! And he saves it again!
He's still trying to save it.
And he's going around!
Everyone's going to stack up, and Johnson buried in a wall there. I don't know. That started through the tribal, and that ended it outside of turn 2. We're gonna back it up. Uh, Now I'm sitting here starting to look at it, and that really started on that restart. They stacked up on the inside, and then we're going to catch up to where we were here on the broadcast. That stacked up on the inside, and then coming on at two, Hogan just blew. I don't know if he slipped on some of his own soggy bread or what, but it really blew that restart from the lead. Fell way back, lost 3, 4, even 5 spots coming out of 4, and they took him 3 wide. Johnson and Munson did. Then they took the number 43 of Cole 3 wide, and I guess Munson didn't know that Cody Johnson was inside there. He's running below the white line, which is perfectly fine. That's almost a fast lane, and I just don't think if he knew he had enough line, and Johnson slaved, and that caused everyone to really stack up. Then he went 4 or 5 wide trying to avoid him. Then he loses it again, and then 4 gets in them. At that point, the damage is already done. That here comes the entire field like a freight train. Nowhere to really go. You don't really expect the car to be, 30, 40 miles an hour slower in the inside line. That just caused everyone to stack up, and unfortunately, Powell drove into Cody Johnson, who didn't really get a whole lot of damage from that, despite being a big part of the wreck. A lot of damage was way back in the field. You had Munson hitting the wall. You got some right side
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, and I'm replaying that now via blimp cam, and it looks like Johnson has some trouble coming on a tri-oval, again, like you said, on the restart. And then Nate Fuller, again, he leaned into turn 1 and 2. Johnson did. Fuller just finished it, and Connor Rowe just kind of said, yeah, I'm going to finish that off. Not on purpose, obviously, but a few different cars in the wreck, and that is unfortunate for Cody Johnson. That will not make him out of the race by any means, but that definitely is going to set him back. Now, Mike DeWalt, opposite end of the spectrum here, is the leader with Chris Parkman, Colby Hogan, Perrin Huggins, and Josh Cole, your top 5. So that's going to set Johnson back, especially with Mike DeWalt being out front. That's definitely going to hurt his chances, Braden.
Yeah, Mike's in a really good position here. Perrin's up to 4th. He started, we talked about, 15th. Now he's all the way back up to 4th in just 9 laps. Trying to get some good stage points here. Like we said, it was going to be an effort for Perrin to win the championship, and he's kind of doing what he needs to do right now, minimizing the point gap that Mike DeWalt, and he can really get up here and take the lead from DeWalt. But it's going to be a quick dash to the end of stage 1 here. But if he can, get by DeWalt for the lead, and DeWalt lose a couple spots, Perrin's not completely out of the running just yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out for anything. The thing you got to know about Perrin is that he is incredibly fast, but the one thing that I think is his Achilles heel, as it were, it's the fact of that he doesn't conserve tire as much as some of the other drivers do. So you may see him up there, and then he's up there for seconds. Like there's points in some of the races where he was almost, a half a lap in front of everybody else. But because he didn't conserve tire and he pitted, that almost counted against him in the long scheme or in the grand scheme of things. He's definitely got a lot of talent and definitely still learning every day. He's got a numerous amount of starts. Again, Huggins probably one of the most talented drivers in this field tonight. But again, conserving tire is probably one of his minute flaws that he has.
And I'm not sure exactly how many sets of tires these gentlemen have in the pits. I want to say it's 5. So I believe they have 4 in the pits waiting for them.
That is correct.
It's going to be interesting. So that they're going to have to kind of do, ideally you want to go about 30 to maybe 35 laps on a run before changing your tires. We have 4 in the pit, so you can come down early and kind of just try to coast me through that first or through that second stage. You're just trying to get some cheap stage points. You come down the pits right there, as we saw quite a few of our drivers did. I believe almost the entire field came down that last time. I'm sorry, no, they did not. They did not come down at last time. But Casey Hatch came down. No one took tires. Maybe Fitzpatrick, looking at the tires, he got some damage fixed too, it looks like. So I don't think anyone's coming down early and taking tires. Everyone's good on fuel until at least the stage break.
Sure.
So it's going to be interesting as we are 1 to green right here, doubling up, get ready to go with just 3 or 4 laps until this end of the stage.
And it looks like Black Sheep, I didn't notice it about 35 minutes ago, probably since the start, requested a loose and loud. So if we can get some laps under green here, I will gladly do that, probably after stage 1. So Black Sheep, I did not forget about you. We will get that loose and loud redeemed. Again, tonight, if you're in the lobby, And if Brayton Laster chooses, he may answer some of your questions if you have any for a driver who is actually in the series now. Brayton, I know I didn't brief you on that. So feel free to reject that offer. But we may have some questions from some people who are, inquiring minds of being a professional race car driver. Pace car lights are just about off. Mike DeWalt and Chris Parkman ready to send it back down. Gotta give props to Chris Parkman for the Good Wrench Gold Bass Pro Shops scheme inspired by the late Dale Earnhardt. Geico Restart Zone, ready, set, go. Mike DeWalt says, let's shift gears. It's time to go.
Yeah, big jump going in turn 1 there by DeWalt, having a 2-3 car length gap easily by turn 1. Perrin's kind of stuck on the top behind Hogan and Parkman. Not really sure to go. He's looking about making them 3 wide.
Look at that.
Middle. It's going to get interesting. Not going to work out. He's still thinking about it. They're slashing and dicing. He's going to try a 3 wide move into turn 3 here. Try and get every stage point he can to be in the running. And he's not going to quite clear it.
Oh, my goodness.
Hogan there, but that was tight.
Oh, somebody's in the grass.
That's Cole. Josh Cole in the 43.
Dang.
Everyone seems to make it around him all right. That was a little sketchy, I'm not going to lie, from everyone. They're 3 wide in the back here for 20th.
Well, I'm glad that...
Temple and Militia, who seem to be in that lap 1 wreck, trying to make his way back up through the field. He's currently 3 wide as Cody Johnson's trying to make up more ground, too, as they're coming, I think, 2 to go here on this stage break.
Yeah, Mike DeWalt, Chris Parkman, Perrin Huggins, Colby Hogan, and Keaton Sawyer's your top 5 with Sean Anderson, Nathan Fuller, Ryan Von Henschel, Ethan Collier, and Locus Reed rounding out our top 10 again. DeWalt having a 3 or 4 car length lead over second place. That is Chris Parkman. Chris Parkman, again, usually riding with Valvoline, riding with Good Wrench here tonight, trying to pull his heartstrings on me, definitely.
Okay, that you're going to the last lap of the stage. If Perrin needs to make a move on Parkman, he's going to have to do it real quick and right now. Ideally, maybe going 3 and 4 and get a run that he can't defend. We passed him right now off the backstretch. Don't give him a chance. Perrin's definitely looking at it. He's got the run off of 2. Going to look on the inside. Basically, want to make this pass, clear him off of 4, and don't really give him a chance to get the spot back before the stage ends here. He might. Dude, I think we shot him.
It's going to be close. Do it. Dives to the bottom, and he gets him.
That was a pretty good effort there by Perrin, trying to minimize the points he loses to DeWalt there. He's only going to lose now, I think, 2 points compared to, I believe it would have been 4-point difference from first to third there for the stage. So now he's only 101 points back. Actually, 102 because he hasn't led a lap. So basically, what I need to do now is he needs to get up, he needs to the lap, and he needs to start leading laps. If he can lead a lap, and then he can also lead the most laps, that's going to put him underneath that 100-point bracket. And then especially if he can get out front, win the second stage, and DeWalt and Cody and those guys lose quite a few spots, and that's still not enough to win it. But with a couple of wrecks and some bad luck, then maybe you can think about winning it. Although we've already had a couple guys. Steiner, who was in that first wreck we saw, he's done. He's wrecked out. Corey Rao.
It's Rao.
He was also in that lap 1 wreck. He was an innocent bystander. He is done for the night. Looks like we got your leaders for the most part all coming down pit road. I'm assuming for fuel only. Then you can take tires now, but it's going to leave you kind of stretched through the rest of the stage and through the rest of the race, and it might leave you kind of stranded with no tires left with the caution about 15 and 20 to go. Yeah, and then it's going to get streamlined.
You are definitely right. It looks like some of those guys just went for fuel only. Some of them went for tires. So that'll definitely be something that we're going to have to talk about going forward. John Howard is currently your leader here after all that in the Fruity Pebbles 78 machine. Big fan of John Howard. Again, he was not the stage winner. Mike DeWalt won stage 1.
And DeWalt took tires there. So DeWalt's now looking in the around the 10th spot. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to end up here, but I want to say right there around
13th. 13th, yeah.
Yeah. So he's not really been in traffic a whole lot. He qualified new inside the top 5, took the lead real early on. Not really used to having a tight handling race car. He had clean air. Now he's got to deal with the dirty air, and he's got to make some moves, and he's got 30 laps to do it. And now you're kind of back in all the drama and all the mess. So
Indeed,
you
it
just got to
is.
hope you're not in a wreck. Hope you don't get involved in someone else's
Well,
shenanigans.
Brayton, what I'm
And
gonna
yeah.
do is I'm gonna bring in Mike DeWalt now. If you want to ask him a question about this, I would love it. I would love it. Think of something real quick, and I'll get Mike in here.
I mean, I can just follow.
Mike DeWalt, number 20. Do we got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
All right,
joining
Mike.
us. You have led most of the race. Brayton Laster has a question for you.
All right.
So I'm assuming you came down and took tires right there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So what's the plan here? Starting back in 13th, now you're in the dirty air. You only have 30 laps to pass 12 cars. Looking at about a car every 2.5 laps if this does go green. And now you've spread yourself pretty thin here for the end. And are you hoping for a green flag run to end that third stage? And just hope that you don't have a caution and everyone comes in with 20 to go and out tires you? What are you thinking here?
Well, I mean, winning that stage definitely helped as far as being able to play a little bit more conservative the rest of the way. I know Cody's having his own troubles this race, but yeah, I took tires. I assumed everyone was gonna have different strategies. We only ran, 5 to 8 laps at green, so I understand not taking tires, but I feel good about being able to have a good long run here for the second stage, be able to pass some of these guys back, make it all in fuel, obviously, but. Yeah, I'm gonna be down a set of tires, but I don't think it's gonna play that big of a issue for me.
And are you worried about Perrin possibly making some ground if you are back here in the middle of the shenanigans? If you're in a wreck, you have to use that fast Perrin to come right back out and get another wreck. Are you worried about Perrin possibly making up a ton of ground on you?
It's definitely possible. I'm definitely more concerned about the 08 tonight, but if Perrin gets max points, this definitely opens up definitely opens up possibilities for him. But yeah, I'm focused on the 08 tonight and just getting the best finish I can and going from there. So we'll see what happens. Try to stay out of the wreck back here. Hopefully get back up to the front soon.
All right, to restart in 13th here. Best of luck to you, Mr. DeWalt, and hopefully we talk to you here at the end.
Thank you, sir.
That was Mike DeWalt in the number 20 machine, DeWalt Tools, Toyota Camry. Brayton, thank you for handling that. We have John Howard and Michael Menchaca leading us off post stage 1 with Brandon Smith and Kenneth Gallman, Keaton Sawyers and Sean Anderson, Nathan Fuller and Perrin Huggins, and Ethan Collier and Jeremy Bial rounding out our top 10.
So those top 4 guys, Howard, Menchaca, Smith, and Gallman, all stayed out there at the stage. So not only did they not take tires, but also they're going to be looking a little tight on fuel. They haven't pitted at all, except for Brandon Smith came down for that lap 7 caution. I believe he actually might have taken tires. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out on the fresher tires.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have about 30 laps to make that happen. Howard leads us off with the Fruity Pebbles Chevrolet, and he is gone. Good jump for him.
Everyone's kind of stacking up on the inside. Like you said, Howard said, see you later, I'm out here, bye, have a good time. Rest of the field is moving pretty smooth. They're 3-4 wide, a little bit here in the back, especially around that 15th position. Mike DeWalt seems to be safely on the bottom, but they're 3 wide right behind him. He has a ton of hungry hippos. He made an awesome move there on the inside, past 3 or 4 cars, and already kind of looking inside. Oh, they're going to wreck right in front of him.
Oh, Menchaca! Menchaca is involved. Let's take a look at what he did. Apparently, we can't get away from a restart without some bullshit happening. Keaton Sawyer's involved as well. Let's take a look at what happened. Give me just one moment. We'll let you break it down.
We gotta try getting an onboard of DeWalt, because I'm sure if we can get like an underwear cam too, that's gonna be fantastic. I'm sure it's probably brown right about now.
I got you. Hold on. So I got the cockpit. We're gonna play it slow from DeWalt's point of view, going into 3.
So going into 3, everything seemed all right, and then Kobe Hogan and the Wonder Bread wall machine there. Kind of came down a little bit. Matt Albert and the Tide kind of cleaned them out. See what I did there? They both kind of went for that same half minute to real estate, and then DeWalt was kind of nowhere to go. Real hard on the brakes, checked up. Gallman got in the back of him. Doesn't seem to leave him too damaged, but
Yeah.
Mike DeWalt definitely puckered up for that one.
Yeah, I mean, puckered up booty hole is probably the best way to put it, if anything, Brayton. Let's back it up and watch it one more time. Again, looks like with Mike DeWalt. Yeah, you're right. Gallman did get him in the rear in that National Guard 71 Chevrolet Camaro. But it looks like for me, for Colby Hogan, he might have just lost it. Let me back it up one more time. Maybe I didn't see that correctly. Oh, it looks like Matt Albert might have given him a hand job with love going into 3.
Definitely tight.
You know, I mean, Brayton, would you chalk that up to net code?
I would say Albert got a little bit tight. You know, he's behind 2 or 3 cars. He's behind, Perrin there and Sean on the bottom. He doesn't have a whole lot of downforce going across his front splitter there.
Sure.
And just kind of gets tight in the middle corner. Probably try to get back to the throttle a little earlier. Do you want to get a good drive off, especially at a track like this? And I don't think expected Colby to be that low, maybe. And unfortunately, cleaned him out with that Tide machine.
Sure. Yeah, that'll happen again. I do believe I would chalk that up to a racing deal that does happen again. Especially here in iRacing. You're going to experience that.
And the rest of the field did a real good job for the most part of just kind of getting around that, no one hitting him. We did have a couple people. Kyle Munson sent it down pit road at 150 miles an hour. So I don't know about the. I'm gonna give him a smart move there. And then Keaton Sawyer,
He gives me so much shit, Brayton, because it sounds like Sawyer's. Because I'm from Wisconsin. So my A's, I guess, are apparently a little bit longer than most people. So I try to say it's Sawyer's, but it comes off as Sawyer's.
Yeah, so he had some help. He tried to get low and avoid the 67 there of Hogan and the 12 of Dutcher, the 21. It's in Ryan Blaney's scheme, so I assume 12. The 21 of Dutcher there, who we've seen.
Ooh, that's French, Brayton. It's Duché.
Duché. I failed I took freshman French my junior year, so I don't know.
Oh man, Brayton, what's your problem? Good lord.
I took Spanish the first 2 years, and then never said I wasn't good enough for either or. Have we seen Dusher run doing the 20th spot most of the night? Not looking half bad. Now he's got some right front damage, maybe a little bit. Not really his own fault. So it's gonna be interesting here. I just love Munson going down pit road here, or not Munson. Was it Munson? Yeah, Kyle Munson. I just love Munson going down pit road at 150 miles an hour.
You know, this is the best way to describe it, Brayton. Check it out.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yes.
Swollen.
And Munson, remember, was back there. Munson qualified up front. And
sure.
He qualified 6th. And the only reason he was back there is because he was in that wreck with Johnson on lap 7. So he was just back to try and cruise. Already used his fast repair, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. It's a possibility. I don't think his damage from that lap 7 wreck was too bad. So that's kind of like what Mike DeWalt's got to be worrying about. They're quick, but they're back here in a lot of the Scrabble mess. And at that point, you can't really control what happens.
Absolutely. And on the front row, we have John Howard and Sean Anderson. Again, Sean not technically in the hunt tonight, but again, could play spoiler. Brandon Smith and Perrin Huggins in row 2. Michael Menchaca and Matt Albert, row 3. Chris Parkman and Trey Holmes, row 4. With Mike DeWalt and Ethan Collier, row 5. Again, Ethan, if I do not pronounce your name correctly, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to correct that. But I've been drinking, so I don't know how far that's going to go. John Howard is going to lead us off with that Ford Mustang pace car hitting the pit lane. And the Geico restart zone is active. Brayton, I can't speak English, man. You might have to help me out here with Sean Anderson and John Howard on the green flag restart. We got Howard, Anderson, Huggins, Smith, and Albert, your top 5 with Trey Holmes, Michael Menchaca, Chris Parkman, Mike DeWald, and Ethan Collier rounding out your top 10. As you see Anderson going to the inside of Howard.
Yeah, that was a real strong run off a 2 from Sean Anderson next stage. He's trying to spoil the party here. He started all the way back in 14th. Let me run you down. Here's your top, I hope you don't wreck, your top 7 runners right now. Here's where they started. So Anderson started 14th. He's currently up to 1st.
Right.
Howard 11th. Huggins Perrin 3rd, started 15th. Brandon Smith started all the way back in 25th. Matt Albert in 35th. And then Trey Holmes started all the way back in 29th.
That's
so there's not even a
amazing.
single top 10 starter in the top 6 right now.
Well, the biggest mover is Matt Albert of the night, who started 35th and is up to 5th. That's amazing.
And what's even more amazing, we made it more than one lap without wrecking. So it's been a lot of growth in these past couple minutes from this field, and I'm really proud of how far we've come
now,
in
Brayton,
about 6 laps.
Brayton, I gotta tell you, man, our league is a lot better than what you've seen so far. Usually, it's not caution lap, restart and then caution. It's usually not how the way it goes. Richmond last week was kind of like that in a summary of what it was. But we do have a couple new drivers here added to the field, but most of the people up front are used to racing with each other. So you're going to see some really good competitive action towards the front of the field.
That's what I kind of like to see. We've seen Sean kind of get probably the biggest gap that anyone's had all night. Kind of, it's
about a half second worth of lead.
Yeah, we saw Mike DeWalt there get a decent gap to win stage 1. They're finally getting some green flag laps. Fuel is not an issue. We might see those new tires. We talked about DeWalt came in and got some tires earlier.
We did.
He's all the way back to 13th. He restarted, I think 10th or so, 9th or 10th. So he's lost a couple spots since the restart. Just try and maybe play it safe, play it cool, make it to the end of the stage. Nathan Fuller has an Eiffel right in front of him as Trey Holmes and Matt Albert, who we've seen involved kind of in that lap 20 crash. They were side by side in front of Fuller. So it's like we were talking about. We have a big gap, pretty much the entire field, top 24, 25 guys, all within 3 seconds. But they're in top 10 all about a second of each other.
Sure.
And now they're starting to see them. We have about 15 to go until the stage. It's go time. It's not up or shut up time. And now we're starting to get pretty dicey here in the top 7 or 8 so guys.
Well, what we're going to do is Black Sheep has redeemed a loose and loud about an hour ago. And I'm about ready to redeem that as we are under green flag racing. Loose and loud number 1 on the finale here tonight. Again, apologies. It's almost a lap 31. But we got it. Here you go for the next Loose and Loud for the Gears Cup Series.
gonna drive, and I'm gonna go fast, and I'm gonna turn to the left sometimes.
Bringing you back from the Loose and Loud, Brayton Laster has an update for us. Brayton, go ahead, sir.
Nathan Fuller weighs about 5 pounds lighter than he did about 3 laps ago as the number 78 machine decided he was going to do a green flag pit stop without any warning whatsoever. And that's John Howard, by the way. And basically hit the brakes in the middle of the corner, and Fuller had to do some aggressive maneuvers to get around him. He lost 3 or 4 spots. So he was only about 7th or 8th. Now he's down to 11th. That's Cody Johnson, currently 2nd in points, as we were talking about earlier. Trying to make up some ground for the stage. And make some points up on Mike DeWalt, currently in 7th. They only have a couple laps to go.
Sure,
it seems that Perrin, of all people, has actually taken the lead here. I don't think that, unless a caution happens in the next lap or two, that Mike or those guys are going to catch him. Because they actually make up a lot of ground on Mike and Johnson. So they were in an unfortunate situation. This might get interesting. Also, Matt Albert, the number 61 car, in 5th. He's not looking so hot and fuel, I'm not gonna lie. Him or Brandon Smith.
Perrin Huggins, though, he's out in front. He started 15th, now out in the lead, as you mentioned. Bonus points, a huge issue, or stage points, I should say, for the end of the stage 2 here, as we're coming around to the white flag for stage 2. Again, gone quickly. These guys have been able to race without caution. Going to that, it's Huggins, Anderson, Holmes, Parkman, and Albert, your top 5, with Brandon Smith, Michael DeWalt, Ethan Collier, Connor Rowe, and Cody Johnson rounding out your top 10. And if I am mistaken, Brayton, I do believe up until 7th place you get stage points. So Perrin Huggins there almost threatening to put Michael Menchaca on another lap down. Looks like he's going to come across 3 and 4 and be your winner of Gears Presents the Finale Stage 2.
And they're getting pretty spicy. And actually, DeWalt trying to get a point, not going to get it. Brandon Smith is probably on fumes, I can imagine. He actually cut off his fuel hose. He's now spitting in it, trying to get as much fuel in the tank as he can. Perrin did exactly what to do. 6 is only 1 point. No points for 7th. DeWalt got 7th there. Cody Johnson got 10th. No stage points for them. Perrin goes plus 10. That's going to put him about 91 behind. Give or take, he was 101. He led a lap, so that's actually plus 1. I won't say he's probably led the most laps now. I'm not 100% sure. But he's been up there for a lot of that green flag run.
Sure.
And now he's only about minus 89. It's not looking great. We still have 33 cars on track. So if DeWalt and Johnson both happen to be in a wreck, lose their fastest person, and then another wreck, and they fall back, Perrin can actually still get, if he can get 2nd, he can actually beat them if Johnson and DeWalt both manage to have some misfortune, but they have to have it quick and they have to have it soon.
Now, I got to say, having Brayton here has been a godsend for me because I don't have to think about that shit. Laster is all over it as our color commentator. Again, thank you so much for being here because you are definitely a benefit to have. Black Sheep MCSC says, here's the green run some were looking for. That was what I was looking for primarily as far as that goes. Definitely proud that these guys were able to maintain it. Now that Perrin Huggins has won stage 2, he's going to have to win the race and hope that Michael DeWalt and Cody Johnson have an issue somewhere down the road. Eh, Brayton?
That's basically what's gonna have to happen. It's still looking likely for Mike right now. Still has about a 30 or so point gap on top of Johnson. That sounds bad. Although where they're running at now,
Hold
We
on,
just
hold
saw-
on, hold on, hold on. I gotta do this, even though I'm late.
That's what she said.
All right, go ahead.
One. So we just saw a pretty long green flag run here. If this goes green from here on out, we talked to DeWalt just a couple of minutes ago. It's gonna be interesting to see because he's one set short compared to everyone else because he came down and pitted. It seems everyone there for the most part took tires. So everyone's fairly on a level playing field except for DeWalt. If you're DeWalt, you want to see this thing go green. You want to get out front. You want to see a lot of green flag runs, and you want to just hope that people start abusing their stuff. You have 2 sets left.
Oh,
and
it's gonna
100 laps.
happen. I mean, and Brayton, I don't mean to interrupt, but definitely that is going to happen. People are gonna abuse their shit, and before you know it, there's gonna be some cream rising to the top. Let me get one driver in here that might be able to give us some perspective. Looks like rounding out the top 10, back in 10th is Nathan Fuller. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna try to get him in here. Nathan Fuller, the 24 machine. Do you have a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
Nathan Fuller, you are live with the Horse Boat, a.k.a. Thomas Story, and Brayton Laster, Arca Craftsman Truck Series part-time driver. Nathan, I got to ask, you're currently sitting in the top 10. Are you feeling good about tonight? Are you feeling bonita? Question mark.
I'd say I am feeling very bonita. I felt very comfortable in practice. I botched the qualifying, to put it in nice terms. I've been fighting my way up from the back, so
Sure.
sitting in the top 10 end of the stage. It's if we go green, it's going to be a strategy race. We'll see how it goes.
How are you feeling about tonight? Do you think you have a car that could win it?
Oh, definitely. Racing up early in the stage and then later in the stage before I had to dodge the guy pitting. I mean, I was catching and putting pressure on guys. So I think if I play my cards right, I can definitely put myself into the cards to win it tonight.
Brayton, got any questions for him?
So we saw you lose about 4 pounds. Not to interrupt, we actually just had a wreck under caution. Josh Cole and Ryan, I'm not even going to try to announce it.
Vander Morel, you got it right. You were doing great.
Yep. A little bit of an accident there. Cole went to the top, not to interrupt you guys, and they got net coded, so that's kind of funny. Nathan, we started to lose about 4 pounds there coming through 3 and 4 as the 78 said he was going to have an emergency pit stop. You want to just talk us through that and how that kind of cost you a lot of spots there in the final lap of stage 2?
I mean, I was just doing my thing, and everybody says he calmed up that he was pitting, and I did not see him talk at all. So I was following him through the corner, and all of a sudden he was slow, and I just dodged him to the best of my ability not to cause a massive wreck, but dropped quite a few spots for it.
Here, Fuller, this may be fitting for what happened.
Bike fluid and get your brake working so you can stop sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The first time in this race I've got on the brake aside from cautions, so.
Well, I do wish you good luck, man. I know it's the last race of the season. Again, Nathan, I hope we have you for 2024. You are an amazing racer, and I do appreciate you giving us a moment of your time this evening.
I appreciate it, guys. Let's see this race go.
Absolutely. That is Nathan Fuller of the Operation Motorsport 24 Toyota Camry. As we are going to get back to green flag racing here just a moment. Again, leading us off is going to be Jonathan Cutlip and Perrin Huggins. Perrin Huggins on the inside of that Lucas Oil machine. Now, Brayton, I don't know if you're familiar with this. If you see a purple banner on the top of their windshield, that means they are a playoff contender. If not, that obviously means they're not. But Brayton, considering what you've chosen tonight, do you feel confident about your pick?
Yes and no. So we have Mike DeWalt starting here in the 7th spot. Cody Johnson right to the outside, almost kind of where they've restarted here as we get the green flag here in just a moment. Cody Johnson, pretty decent run on Mike DeWalt here. Going to take the spot, hopefully, as they get into turn 1. If you're Cody Johnson, all you need to do right now is pick off as many spots as you can. Get up front. You got to lead laps. You got to try to set the fast lap. You got to do everything you can to be in front of Mike DeWalt by at least 4 or 5 spots.
Oh, sure.
They're about to wreck for the lead! Trey Holmes around. There goes they're still wrecking.
Oh, I don't know if that should have been a yellow. That's going to be argumentative by myself in the next meeting. But it looks like we have a caution. We're going to re-rack and get back to green flag racing. John Cutlip and Matt Albert 1 and 2 in those Ford Mustangs. And Brayton, I got to ask, going into 2024, I know you only are here part-time. As far as it goes, what do you think about this league so far, your experience? I know you've been in here probably, a handful of days. What is your experience so far with the drivers that you've come across?
Yeah, so I've noticed a lot of different personalities, and you see a lot of these wrecks. They're not someone being stupid and making a stupid move. Almost every wreck now has been more in the line of a racing incident. Just hard racing, mainly been in the back or towards the middle of the front. We've had a little oopsie whoopsies in the front,
Yeah.
especially that most recent one with Perrin, Sean Anderson. A lot of our playoff drivers are kind of real close. The wall, I'm sure, probably lost about another pound and a half on top of the other 4 he's lost tonight. So definitely interesting league. You got a lot of drivers, a lot of great personalities, a lot of talent too. These guys are getting the absolute most out of their cars, and the biggest benefactor to that, I believe, is going to be it's going to be Michael Michak. That's a fun name to say. I believe he might be the lucky doggy. I'm not 100% sure. We actually see some guys coming down pit road.
I like that move. I mean, I don't know about you, but I like that move for gasoline. I mean, that might help with their fuel strategy going down the road. Would you not agree?
Definitely. So this run is 89 laps. We saw some guys do about 35 laps on a run. Then again, there was also a lot of cautions in those 35 laps. So
Sure.
it's kind of a fuel game. We have, I don't even know how many we have left. I'm not good at math. We have 82 to go. If you can get about 30 to go on a tank, let's just say you're still gonna have to stop twice. But now you might, if you do a green flag pit stop and you don't take tires, you're gonna be just a little bit quicker than the next guys. If you mess up, it gives you some wiggle room. And now, if we do get some green flag pit stops, it's gonna be interesting to see. Okay, do I take tires or not take tires? Most of these guys have 3 or so sets left. 82 laps divided by 3, you're looking at about 27 laps, which is about a fuel run. So, like, do you come down and you take tires every time? I mean, you can afford it. If you're Mike DeWalt, you can't. So, if you're Cody Johnson, you're currently in the 4th position, you need to make up spots on Mike DeWalt. That's how you do it right there. You just hope this thing kind of goes green. And
Now,
whatnot. Get some free tires and some free grip over DeWalt.
I'm going to get one more driver in our interview here tonight, so if you've got a quick question to ask, that would be great. I'm going to get Matt Albert, who is starting second outside of John Cutlip. Let's see if we can get him involved. One moment. Matt Albert, number 61 machine. Do I have a copy?
Yes, you do, sir.
Matt Albert, again, thank you so much. You're going to be starting second on the front row when we get back to the restart. Matt, I got to ask you before Brayton asks you your question. How are you feeling about tonight? Do you think you got a win in hand?
I don't know, man. Until literally the moment that we went green flag, I was expecting to start park. And now here I am in the top 5 all night. I've been in the top 5 since lap 20. So.
Dude, are we one to
Yeah,
green right now? Can you tell me that?
No, we're coming to 1 to green. We're still
Okay,
2
okay,
green.
all right. Yeah, keep speaking freely then. Brayton, do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, Albert. So you've been in the back of the field, you've been in the front of the field, you've been kind of in the middle of the field, but mainly towards the top 7 or 8 guys that you were just mentioning. You've pretty much passed every driver at least once. Who are you looking out for the most?
I think that the guy who's probably going to win this race is Trey Holmes, to be honest. Just considering how much deeper he seems to be able to drive into the corner.
That is a pick.
Yeah, I think Trey Holmes has this race. Otherwise, I mean, I can give you a points update. After the stages, we have...
I'm sure it's wild, Matt.
We figured this out right before you dragged me in here, so... yeah, Mike's leading the points over Cody by 31.
Okay, thank you.
Perrin has closed into 91 points behind.
Well,
so.
there you
It's
go.
actually 89.
Oh, see, you got Brayton Laster doing points on your ass.
Okay, you're missing the 2 bonus points for most laps led, which I'm assuming.
If it counts in our league, I'm not sure if it does.
Those will be applied at the end of the race.
I'm looking at the rules right now. I'm looking at the
rules
rules
right now are stage points.
Brayton, we're gonna talk after the race. But Matt, thank you so much for hanging out with us in the 61 machine. Good luck to the rest of your way here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brayton, you're kicking ass. You're making me look like a fool, but that's okay. John Cutlip and Matt Albert on row 1 with Cody Johnson and Trey Holmes number 2. Matt Albert's picked Trey Holmes in that row 2 spot. Keep an eye on the number 9 car where you got to get your hemorrhoids removed. Mountain Dew Machine leading in row 2. John Cutlip is going to lead us down to that Mobile 1 Ford Mustang number 28. See if that Ford Mustang I-pacing race car gets on to pit road. Let's see when they do.
So we saw Trey kind of be in that wreck at last time. Didn't really
Yeah.
hit anything, just kind of got hooked. It's going to be interesting to restart to the third position. We got Albert and we got Cutlip in the front row. Cutlip with a real good jump. Look at Trey on the inside of Albert. It's basically saying, see you later, bye, have a good time. Going quick move in the second spot. Now Cody Johnson says, hey, save some scraps for me. I don't mind Mountain Dew if I do.
Wiener
he's not a
out on the
Tide Pod
table.
fan.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he is. And here comes Parkman. Everyone is just getting a piece of this Tide Pod action. Everyone's trying to get around Albert. Now on the outside, around Trey again. Johnson up to second. We
What a
heard Albert
move!
talk. Ooh!
Oh!
Albert and DeWalt kind of made a little bit of contact, just making some love in here. So Johnson and Trey now side by side. We heard Albert talk about how deep Trey's able to drive in the corner. We're kind of seeing that now as he's not able to quite get to run off the corner that he wants, but he's still making up a ton of time through the corner. So he got Johnson. I kind of was looking for the lead there from Cutlip. And Johnson Cutlip kind of bumped draft a little bit through 3, almost touching with Trey Johnson is. And this is just a great battle for the lead.
Yeah, it's good competition all the way across the board.
I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna go right and I'm gonna turn to the left sometimes.
You got Cutlip, Johnson, Holmes, DeWalt, and Parkman, your top 5, with Justin Vandermerel, Fuller, Rowe, Duche, and Bial rounding out your top 10.
Johnson to the lead there outside 2. Cutlip got a little bit tight, then a little bit loose. Remember, Cutlip was in that lap 1 crash. He got arguably some of the worst, but the wall in the back bumper of Cutlip almost turned him. That was real tight. Cutlip now is getting, the wall getting
Now-
had to really back out of it.
Now, I gotta
Before getting
ask,
run over.
Brayton, do you think some of these guys, because of what is on the line tight, tend to overdrive these corners and lose tire wear as far as that goes?
It's definitely possible. If you're something like the wall, you're not trying to fight too much. You have one less set tires than everyone else, and most people know that. Some people don't. And
Especially if you got race labs. Let's just be real.
yes, and that's it's kind of a tricky situation if you're the wall, because you kind of want it to go green, because you want everyone to definitely use up their stuff and come down and get new.
Sure.
But then at the same time, you have to make up that set somewhere. You can't just pull it out of thin air. You can't throw your scuffs on. He got touched a little bit there by the 57. As they're 3 wide behind him, Collier.
Woo!
They're 3 wide, 2 deep here. We got Cutlip, we got Collier, we got Bial, we got a party going on.
Yeah, it looks like
Connor
Cutlip
Rowe.
dropping back fast.
We had Rowe there, who we've seen kind of coast a lot of the drama tonight. The wall, I'm afraid, is burning his stuff up way too much. He can come down here in probably 20, 25 laps. They've been out on this run for about 14 laps. About half of it's been caution. So I'm about to guess he's got about right at 20 or so laps left in the tank. But that's going to put you at 54 to go. They're still going to have to come down at least one more time. And
Sure.
if you come down in 20 laps, 54 to go, and then you go about another 2. Never mind.
Oh, we got an accident. Let's see what happened. Oh, man, Albert involved. Let's back that ass up and see what we can find out.
So Albert dropped pretty quickly there. He's back in the 12th spot, going through 3 and 4. And we talk about Cutlip.
Yeah, it
Cutlip
looks
checked
like-
up.
Oh,
and it's
I do
started
apologize,
running.
Brayden. I don't mean to interrupt you. Hold on here. Let's see. Looks like... Oh, wow. Okay, let's get a blimp cam of that. Back
This is
it
a
up.
mess and a half.
It was. Looks like Albert was involved, but it looks like a combination of Casey Hatch, if I could be so bold. And it looks like the 33 of Brandon Meyer. Let's go through this in slow-mo. And it looks like Brandon Smith might have helped out on that. I'm not sure, but included Casey Hatch, Brandon Meyer, number 51 of Nick Wood. Comes back down, hits Brandon Smith. Looks like Jake Hall involved as well in the 98 Clemson machine. John Howard. Yeah, that is unfortunate for all drivers involved. Big shout out to Matthew Semple in the 6th for coming back.
Yeah, that was everyone and their mother for that one.
Yeah, I'll back it up one more time. I mean, who do you see it start with?
So mainly, we're talking about Albert, who's running real good and kind of fell back there. He's sitting there running behind Cutlip.
Yeah.
And
that's
Cutlip's
right
trying to
where I'm
get
where
tight.
I ran 3 and 4 to give you reference. Looks like
Yep.
he goes low, hits, kind of I think that's netco between Brandon Smith and Matt Albert. I'll let you decide on that, but then goes up into Casey Hatch and Nick Wood.
Yeah, it's definitely tight. Looking at the right front suspension on Brandon Smith, there might have just been the littlest ant hair of contact. But Albert checks up because Cutlip gets tight, don't want to run him over, and Brandon Smith kind of with nowhere to go.
Sure.
And Albert trying to not run anyone over. Just, you got 4 guys all fighting for the same half a foot of real estate, and just doesn't work out.
Again, you can't win the race in the first lap, but you can definitely lose it. Matt Albert gets his fast repair and off pit road again. Your new leader going into this thing is going to be Nathan Fuller in the 24. Let me see if I can find anybody that is willing to speak. Give me one moment.
John Howard also, we saw, was a big part of that too.
I don't know
a lot of hard hits.
I don't know if you saw the Discord, Brayton, but it looks like Jake Hall 98 wrote in, computer froze up at race control.
Yeah, we saw him go back to the garage here, currently being scored just a couple laps down. So I hope he can get back in here and whatnot. If he's only a couple laps down, maybe with the way this race has been going, can definitely get a couple lucky dogs. But it's gonna be interesting. I have to get back in here real soon. Now this cycle changes everything.
Yeah, it does. It really does. With Nathan Fuller and Connor Rowe in the front row again, both drivers who haven't been seen much up front tonight, now making their way towards the front. It definitely will make things interesting.
And something else, so you had, that could just talk about Fuller, we talked to earlier, Connor Rowe, and Collier. That's kind of fun to say. Those 3 drivers did not pit there, so they only have they're going to have to pit in about 10 to 15 laps regardless, just because of fuel. And now they've kind of put themselves in a good spot for tires. I'm assuming they haven't wasted a set earlier.
Yeah.
If I was DeWalt, it looked like he took tires on that stop. Only 5 or 6 guys took tires. And DeWalt was one of them. So he's going to be starting back in the 14th spot. Going to be interesting. Cody Johnson only took fuel, currently in the 4th spot. Kenneth Gallman in the 5th spot did not take tires, it looks like. I don't think.
Okay.
I think he even pit. I might be mistaken. I got to go back and look at this real quick. Am I just stupid? No, he did not pit. So Gallman not. He's been out for 26 laps now. I believe we're taking the 1 to green here.
Now, so Black Sheep has responded here in the chat. Looks like 61 is playing ping pong out there and no gas, or all gas, no brake, or no brake, all gas is what he said here in the chat. I tend to agree after that caution.
Yes, and we just got word Jake Hall is on the hopping back in. He's on the porta potty. Stretcher dressing room thing right now, getting dressed and getting ready to drive back on track. As we are 1 to green with 69 laps to go, you're still going to stop at least twice.
Now, Brayton, I'll let you join the restart here. I'm going to take a moment and exit for a moment. I want you to do the play-by-play as we get to go into the restart.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic. So we're going to talk about fuel. So you got 69 laps to go. You still have a lot of stops, green flag stops as it goes green. Some guys still have 2 sets of tires. Actually, most of the guys still have 2 sets of tires left. Mike DeWalt only with 1, I'm presuming. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure only has 1 set for 69 laps. If you're everyone else, you're going to stop twice. You're going to take those tires on both stops. Your second stop, if this goes green, should be within about 15 to 10 laps to go. After Mike DeWalt, they got pick and choose. So we got Connor Rome, we got Collier, and then we got Gallman on the inside, Parkman, Johnson, and Fuller on the outside. That's your top 6, so guys. It's going to be interesting. So pace car pulls in off turn 4, passing that Pinto yellow scheme. We got the restart zone. We got Fuller, and we got, Rowe there. They're going to take the jump, take the move. Give it to Fuller there for half a second. They're going to go side by side through turn 1. Collier kind of looking a little bit dicey, a little bit spicy, a little bit something more on the inside. This is getting real interesting. You see these top 3 or 4 guys starting to kind of pull away single file on the top. Johnson around the 57. And now there's going to be 3 wide for a second going into turn 3. I'm not going to lie, I kind of suck at this. I have no idea who's who. Johnson got a little bit of tap from Collier. And it's just kind of all out, balls out, go to the wall, and hope there's no one there.
Now, I know I put you on the spot there, so I thank you for filling in. Connor Rowe, Nathan Fuller being your top 2 with Cody Johnson, Chris Parkman, Ethan Collier, Justin Vanderbilt, Jeremy Bial, Matthew Semple, Kenneth Coleman, and Trey Holmes rounding out your top 10. Battling for position is what
Trey Holmes made an awesome move on Goldman and Matthew Semple there to take move into the top 10. Perrin Huggins, we talked about how big mover early in the race, took the lead early on, led quite a bit of laps in stage 2. Then he was in that wreck there on lap 51. He's now back inside the top 10.
And that, I know you haven't been here much, but that is to be expected. The man really regains positions like it's going out of style. Has moved ahead of Mike DeWalt for 10th place. As he is now rounding out your top 10 behind Trey Holmes as he's passing him on the outside. Connor Rowe, Nathan Fuller, Cody Johnson, Chris Parkman, and Justin Vanderbilt, your top 5 with Ethan Collier, Jeremy and Bial, Matthew Semple, Perrin Huggins, and Trey Holmes rounding out your top 10.
Yep. And we got Cody Johnson right there in 3rd, currently 2nd in the standings, but technically, if it ends right here, right now, he wins the championship because Mike DeWalt is all the way back and get this 11th. Currently 3 wide to maybe even be as far back as 13th here in the next couple corners. He's not really looking so high. He came down, he took tires, I'm assuming. He's looking kind of alright now coming out of turn 2, making some lost ground. But we're going to really see him start to struggle here in a couple of cycles. It's going to really depend on when he takes tires and when he does. If it goes green, he might be able to just take tires on the next stop and hope he can build a big enough gap for the final stop. It doesn't matter, but then a single caution can really ruin that entire plan. So DeWalt got a lot of good stage points early. We're really going to come back and bite him in the butt, I think, here in these last couple of laps. So by my calculations, Johnson is currently about 30, maybe 31 points down. So he has it, but not by much. Right now, he would only win actually, with that move to 10th there, not for long, as Anderson's kind of trying to make a move around him, but with DeWalt, battling there in 10th, he has Johnson, as long as Johnson doesn't pick up a spot. Especially, he can live with Johnson being in 3rd, but definitely not 2nd. But actually, Johnson's going the wrong way he needs to be going. He's got passed by Jeremy Bial in the 70-47. Not a great run this last lap or so. Johnson's really fading real tight there off of turn 4. Trying to kind of make up some ground. But like we talked about, right now, it doesn't matter. You just get a rhythm and to get calm, to get cool, and to get collected. You're not going to have to stop here in about 20 laps. You got nailed at Griffin pit stop. If you're Johnson, you come down to take tires. You're Mike DeWalt. You have a decision to make, and that doesn't even matter.
We have a wreck. Let's see who that affected. Looks like John Howard. Let's back that ass up and see what we can find. See what we can find. Looks like maybe Mr. Hall involved in this. Looks like Howard, the 78, and the 71. Looks like a Kenneth Coleman.
I'm going to put that on Ryan Vaughenshaw. Basically, he went down, coming to a trial. Well, I don't remember caught up on the broadcast. I do apologize. Our camera crew, they're a little sloshed. So
I'm following you. Let's go.
So Ryan Vaughenshaw came off of 4, looked towards the top on the 78 of Howard, and then just kind of came up and left hook, and there was a ton of net cut involved. I'm not going to blame that entirely on Ryan, but left net coated hook to 78. Howard basically comes up the track, And the cars gets loose. Nick Wood with a
Yeah.
huge part. Jake Hall, I kind of want to ride on board the number 98 Hall because it looks like he has it cleared. And out of nowhere, here comes the Fruity Pebbles
Yeah,
machine.
nothing. I mean, nowhere he could go where as far as for him to be able to save himself. So unfortunately, Hall gets involved with that. But it's basically Howard and the 45 machine. Looks like a Ryan Von Henschel. So that is unfortunate for both drivers. 3 wide through the tri-oval as we're looking back on it right now in slow-mo. Yeah, it looks like Howard was trying to angle his way into turn 1 and got loose already. I don't know if he chalked that up to netcode or not, but the 45 machine ended up being a part of it. So unfortunately that happened and we are under caution.
And Jack Lockett in the 92 had a real nice move avoiding the number 98 machine there of Jack Hall as he rolled to the apron. So, a lot of good moves kind of being made there. Unfortunately, I think that's part of racing, getting the second half of the race.
Sure.
Have people start to kind of make their way down pit road. Excuse me. Most of the field, it looked like that last time came down pit road.
Sure.
So, going to be interesting. DeWalt, it does not look like he took tires, which is expected. However, Parkman, Fuller, and Rowe, all those guys took tires. It looks like Bial, Johnson, and Perrin only took right sides, maybe, and Collier took a full set. So if I'm DeWalt, I am saving a set towards the very end. I am basically gonna ride out. I know we're gonna have one more stop, and if we should only have one more stop if this goes green from here on out. It's gonna be tight. You want to try and maximize as much fuel as you can. You'll probably only have 2, maybe 3 laps in the tank, maybe a little bit more, depends how long this caution is. You're not gonna have one more stop. So if you're Mike DeWalt, you're gonna be a fantastic spot here if you only have one more green flag stop. Now they're gonna lose a couple laps here, or some time here compared to everyone else on the fresh tires, and gonna be kind of interesting how that plays out. Now, watching him really struggle is he comes in, he takes those tires, everyone else comes down and takes their tires on the next stop.
Sure.
And it should be good. Now, then to go 10, 15 laps and you have a restart, you don't have any spare tires, you're Mike DeWalt, you gotta stay on, hang on for dear life. I'm trying to save everything I can.
Yeah.
Never DeWalt. I would almost prefer to possibly even stay out and maybe save a set, not take a set at the end. Let's hope there's a lap 15 or 15 to go caution.
Okay.
And maybe be able to make a miracle happen. And it's
Question mark?
Yeah. If Cody Johnson wrecks, no problem in the world. You just kind of cruise through it and just try to be there at the end. As far as everyone else, well, good luck. Have fun.
Well, I gotta ask you, Brayton, are you still sticking with your pick, or are you gonna change?
No, I am team. Who did I even pick? Did I pick Cody? I'm gonna say I picked Cody. I'm team Cody all the way.
Yeah, you work team Cody Johnson, and I'm team Mike DeWalt. Advantage of Mike DeWalt is he's on the front row here going into the next restart.
He's gonna have the inside advantage, although he's not the leader. He's on the front row. Justin took the outside there. Cody Johnson, I want to say, took just right sides. The entire top 3 has no new tires at all. They're on their old set. So they're looking at 10, 15 Apple tires.
Sure.
And then you got Jeremy Bial in the 47 AD machine. And then you have Sean Anderson, who did not take tires, and then you have Simple, who also did not take tires, but then Cody Johnson right there in 5th, who did take the right sides, I'm assuming.
Brayton, I gotta ask you, on
be
the
interesting.
spot, are you using race laps?
I have something. I have sim racing apps, yes.
Okay, sim racing apps is what I use as well. I just wanted
I'm
to
just looking
ask.
at times.
yeah, no, I get it.
So I'm
Justin
also trying to write down who's
Vanderell
wrecking.
and Mike DeWalt gonna lead us off in row 1 with Jeremy Bial and Sean Anderson. Row 2 shifting gears. That's why we're here for the Gears Cup Series Championship Friday night. And we're off for the finale on the next restart.
Only one green flag run from here. Do you want it to be smooth? Do you want it to be clean? And do you want it to be gone. If it's a wall, you're trying to make as much of a gap here as you can. If it does go green, Cody Johnson is doing the exact opposite of what Mike DeWalt wants. Went from 5th to looking at 3rd as he's kind of peeking 3 wide with the 47 of Anderson and company. Now he's moving to the inside of the 14 of Anderson there, trying to clear him off the corner. He is, and so now you have those fresh tires. If you're Mike DeWalt and Justin Van Der Moral, you have the fresh tires of Cody Johnson coming up behind you, and at this point it's only a matter of time. You already see the fresh tires kind of coming in. DeWalt and the number 18 of Van Der Moral really got a little bit, they got pretty close there through out of 2. Johnson definitely with that advantage. You can tell it's definitely gripped up through the corners, getting a ton of grip through there, making up a lot of that time.
Yeah.
We just lost number 32 of Menchaca. So with that, that's actually going to eliminate Perrin mathematically from the championship unless someone comes back.
That's amazing that you know that, because I would have no realization, as much of an auto racing fan that I am. Looks like Mike DeWalt putting himself out into the lead with Justin Van Der Moral and Cody Johnson watching. One thing you got to know about me, Brayton, is that I'm a huge Office fan. So if you've ever heard of The Office or watched it, big fan of the show. I do reference that a lot.
So we got DeWalt up here spilling the chili, trying to ruin the party of Cody Johnson and company as he's got a big run off of turn 2, really using those new tires. And look at the 14 of Anderson,
Look
also
at that.
using those old tires to try and make up some ground. Johnson right off the back bumper. DeWalt going to get the run off of turn 4, looking for the lead. This isn't for the championship. DeWalt still has a bit of a buffer. Now, if you're Johnson, you have the lead, kind of going to turn 1. You can't give it back to DeWalt. You got to get up front, you got to go, you got to be gone. You got to put the dirty air on DeWalt, you got to get him tight, you got to make him loose spot. You should clear him here off of turn 2. Get a real big run, get a gap, and you also have, you're taking number 14 of Sean Anderson with you. That's almost a tactical move. We saw this in F1 a couple months or so ago with signs and whatnot. If you're Johnson, you're trying to give the 14 a bit of that draft on the back straightaway, and then
He's not going to get it, looks like.
So you see him in the corner. He gives Anderson the draft on the straightaway, then goes to the bottom of the block at DeWalt. He's trying to make DeWalt get as tight as possible and lose as many spots as he can. And he's kind of got a freight train. He's got to be all with some fresh tires coming up behind him. Van Der Moral does not. No.
But Cutlip right there as well, trying to break into the top 5. Can't hate on that. Looks like Cody Johnson, Sean Anderson, Mike DeWalt, Justin Van Der Moral, and Jeremy Beal, your top 5, with John Cutlip, Matthew Semple, Nathan Fuller, Chris Parkman, and Connor Rowe rounding out your top 10. And if I could make a suggestion to the rest of the viewership, here it goes.
Best advice I can give you, start drinking heavily.
That is right. We are closing into. We are over halfway through the race. Again, celebration after the race is over. Champion will be crowned live on air here at the post-race show. Depending how drunk I get, I'm over 2/3 away from this Old Smoky Tennessee Salty Caramel. Happy to have Brayton Laster with me tonight to help me carry me through this. As I should say, Cody Johnson, Sean Anderson, and Mike DeWalt, your top 3. Justin Van Der Moral and Jeremy Beal rounding out your top 5. And Brayton, what do you think of this league so far from what you've seen?
That's a lot of really good driving, a lot of really great personalities from everyone we've talked to. And being the quickest definitely seemed to be in favor. We're going to look down to the 29th and 28th place runners, Kobe Hogan and Josh Cole. They qualified first and second, and now they're both 2 laps down. So speed doesn't really mean a whole lot. Obviously it does. That sounds terrible out of context.
Yeah.
But they've just seen kind of been in a lot of bad luck. We saw Josh Cole get wrecked on the stage 2 there by Ryan Amanda. Sorry. Excuse me.
Wow, you can't speak English like I can't either. This is great. I love it.
No, we're doing real good here. And then Kobe Hogan's also kind of been in his fair share of messes, I guess is the right way to see it. They're actually about to wreck here for the 10th spot. Connor Rowe having to really check out of it. Him and Fuller touched some some finger love in there, it looks like.
Let's go to the meandyourmom.com blimp cam, courtesy of Trenoir.
And you have Cutlip and Bial, who's been side by side for about the past 10 laps. Without
Yeah,
either one of them
Cutlip,
giving
Bial, you
any
got,
bit of
you got Parkman right there as well as Matthew Semple. We haven't heard a lot from him this season. Glad to have him here for the finale. Again, Brayton, give us your play-by-play, what you see.
So we're looking at Nathan Fuller mainly right here in the 9th spot. He has been one of the fastest and consistent cars on track. He did take a full set of tires the last time around, but he's about only half of a quarter of a tenth off your leaders, or off of your leader. He's about to get in the number 6 car. That got real tight. Simple.
That's hot and heavy.
That guy, I was like, every time I start talking about someone, they about wreck. But he's been one of the fastest cars the past couple of laps, and really doing whatever he can to make moves, as you saw there. You have Parkman and you have Cutlip right in front of him, who've both been in their fair share of accidents. And then Bial and Justin Vandermeer are sitting there 4th and 5th. Everyone's kind of spaced out their top 5. Johnson now has about a little over a second gap. That's the biggest gap we've seen anyone have. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's getting out front, he's leading laps, he's trying to lead the most laps to give him 2 extra minutes. And while that might not help him entirely right now, just because you're more at the fate of Mike DeWalt and how far back he falls, he's put himself in a good spot here by getting those extra bonus points. Currently, for the fastest lap, we also have, I believe, 3 extra bonus points for the fastest lap. That is held, I'm not sure who actually holds that. Give me 1 second here. I want to say...
This is amazing. Brayton, for how much effort you put into this for one race, I have to give you a tip of the cap, because that is amazing.
I appreciate it. I want to say it's Perrin actually who has the fast lap, who is actually ironically trying to do what he can to stay in the running, but unfortunately he was mathematically eliminated unless someone comes back on track, and then Cody Johnson and DeWalt have some issues here real soon. So Perrin fast lap right now. We need Cody to take that. Well, I don't know if we need, but I need Cody to take
Well, if that's your pick. Yeah, of course, you.
So if you, I don't know if you go to our mom did something.com blimp cam, but you see how much of a gap he has, especially through the corners. He has almost a 2-second gap now. And so first to second is about 1.7, 1.8. First to second is about 1.7, 1.8 seconds. And then from second to about 10th is that same distance.
Now, Brayden, I know we got a lot of action on the track, but I gotta tell you, if you do the Milwaukee Mile this year in Wisconsin, you have a place to stay about 45 minutes from the track. So thank you so much. You are the fucking man. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Cody Johnson out into a lead about 2 seconds in front of the rest of the field. As you see him slicing and dicing, Brayton, thank you so much for the play-by-play. Actually, dude, if you want to continue on, I'm more than happy to let you roll with this, because you seriously have great insight, and I personally, from a perspective, I enjoy it.
So that we're winding down in the final laps here. We got about 40 to go, 38 exactly to go. Fuel, we're going to start seeing guys pit here in about 7 or 8 laps, maybe a little bit more. Definitely not any less. Mike DeWalt is about to be losing spots like it's Christmas and he's all out of hot chocolate. He's trying to hang on for dear life and do as much as he can here. I'm not exactly sure what he's thinking. Right now he needs to maintain 4th. If he gets 5th, he loses the championship. Blown out of the water.
Now, Brayton, I gotta ask, is this a good strategy?
I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna go fast and I'm gonna turn to the left sometimes.
And yes, and you need some grip, as much grip as you can possibly get. You really see DeWalt really start to do spots as he's stuck on the bottom. He's lost 2 to that corner, looking at losing 2 more this next corner. Cutlip looking on the outside of the 14 machine of...
Now, I gotta interrupt you here. A person that I see up here, and I do believe... Hold on, give me 1 second. I just have to double check to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. No, I'm not. Matt Albert in the number 61 Tide Machine, currently up into 5th. Did you see him lurking to the top like Randy Savage would say the cream rises to the top?
Yeah, I did actually bring up, that's a really good point. We saw him in that wreck back on lap 61. Actually not being there, he was the wreck, destroyed his car, back up here in the 5th. Definitely a big move, up 30 spots. He led some laps, he's been up front most of the night, so glad to see him back. We're going to lose number 45, Ryan Shield.
Sure. Von Henschel. Von Henschel.
I was speech impediment.
That's all right. I love it either way. No problem.
So we're going to roll with it. And we saw the 45. If there was a wreck tonight, he was somewhere.
Say his name,
around
damn it.
there.
Say his name.
Yeah, Ryan's looking real good. He was in the stage 2 wreck with Cole, with Josh Cole there, and I don't know if it's exactly his fault. Then he was in the lap 75 wreck. He's just not having a great night by any means. Who's definitely not having a great night is Mike DeWalt, who's now all the way back in 8th, and they are almost 3 wide. That's Cutlip and Albert. They're playing ping pong up here in front of DeWalt.
Let's focus. Gears Cup Series driver Mike DeWalt and prominent point series leader from Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, they're going to wreck!
Oh, we got action!
Bial out. Jeremy Bial basically right hooked Albert there, like,
oh, man.
There's another business. That also got Cutlip some heavy damage.
Let's see. Hold on. All right, we're in the middle of 3 and 4. I'm going to play it in slow-mo. Give me your breakdown, Lester.
So we kind of saw him start to dice up. Albert was out here playing ping pong for most of the second half of the race and got a bad serve, unfortunately. That wasn't really nothing of his own fault. Looks like Bial gets a little bit loose off the corner and has nowhere to go except in the Albert's right rear and just cleans that Tide machine out.
Oh, in a Cutlip?
Bystander.
Yeah, he bounces off the wall. I mean, Cutlip should be all right, and I think Albert as well.
It just depends how hard he hit. Collier had some pretty heads-up driving here. Now, this changes everything, because they're going to be looking at going green here at just at 30 laps to go.
Yeah.
Remember at the start of the race, we talked about how much fuel these guys got?
Yep.
30 on the dot, give or take. It's going to be interesting. We might see Cody Johnson, those guys. We talked about early, we were talking to every driver, or at least these championship drivers. Cody Johnson succeeds most when his fuel pressure is at the lowest. Get it? Because you're running out of fuel and you're running out of fuel pressure. That's a racing thing.
Yeah.
We're going to roll with it. So, Johnson was leading, led... I can't tell you how many laps he's led exactly, but I'm sure he's going for probably the most, as he had almost a 2.5 second gap when that caution came out. And to no surprise, everyone's coming down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see. Tires, no tires. If you're DeWalt, you were losing spots quick, you were losing spots heavy, you were like a ham on Thanksgiving.
But he was only 7th, though. You can't give him too hard of a time, right?
So, he was like 3rd, and he went for the 7th. 8th or 9th, like he was back there, about to be outside the top 10, and
he's got the 3rd row. He's got the 3rd pit box up in that. Does that now? I'm a dumbass and I don't race professionally. Does pit box placement have a value in the race?
Oh, so much.
Okay.
Johnson, first one in, gonna be first one out. So we saw DeWalt take his tires there. I physically saw him go on.
Sure, yeah.
So he's hoping this thing goes green, no matter what. Okay. He's hoping that we sit here. If we have a caution, it's in 2 or 3 laps. So as of now, he's on the even playing field. We go 10, we go 15 laps. We have a caution. Good night, Irene.
You think so?
Someone can take a DeWalt nail gun and they can build DeWalt a coffin out of it.
Dude, he's rode DeWalt all year long, so that's actually really funny, and I'm not gonna make more of it than what it is right now. But yeah, that's spot on. I can't really complain about that. DeWalt really this year has had a remarkable year. Again, he's had a couple wins. Let me double check that in my stat sheet.
Yes, he has had the one win, but he's had the most top 10s. He had 25 top 10s.
There you go.
29 starts.
Yep, he has 1 win. Cody Johnson has had 2. Perrin Huggins with 3, but he has the record of stage wins of 14.
So that DeWalt has an 86.2% top 10 rate. That's pretty stinking good.
Man, I can't believe you can do that kind of math. That is amazing. Maybe
Thank
not
you.
for some people, not for some people. Maybe for me, I don't know. whatever the case may be. Black Sheep is watching and his mind is blown. He looks like
Yes,
he says,
thank you.
yes, my man, whoa, DeWalt, LOL, and nice. Black Sheep is one of my main chat guys here. Appreciate having you and hanging out with Brayton Laster.
Yeah, the real neat thing about being a real race car driver is I have access to like special equipment, such as like a calculator,
Yeah.
that not many people quite have immediate access to. So having that, really benefits me and being able to get these quick stats out for everyone at home watching.
Now, as a driver, you've raced Daytona, and I've always wanted to ask something like this. I don't have an exact question in mind, so it's just going to come off the top of my head. What is it like racing at Daytona? I mean, iRacing can only give you so much, right? What is the difference between what we feel in the sim and what does it actually feel like out on the track?
So you know how when you go to McDonald's and you have the choose cone, basically, and then you're like, oh man, this is the most stressful moment of my life. Imagine that for about 2.5, 3 hours straight.
Wow. Was that doing Daytona this in 2023? Was that something you initially? It was your first time, if I'm correct.
Last year was my first time. So I did Daytona and Talladega last year. I had an awesome wreck at Talladega last year. Made the highlight reel, had the in-car camera last year. You can look up ARCA Talladega 2022, and a car literally flew over me at 180 miles an hour.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Step back. Hold on for a second. Brayton, if you have a YouTube channel, Twitch channel, please advertise it right now.
I have a Twitter, that's @the1pizzaman. I have a YouTube, you can look up Brayton Laster. There's about 4 of them, I use them all. And then a Twitch is also just Brayton Laster. Here, I will actually follow I should have done this earlier. I just followed.
Thank you, Brayton.
Here,
I'm Horseboat, man. I watch a lot of The Office, so Horseboat is a reference in about season 5. But the Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, has just followed me on Twitch.tv, and I couldn't be more honored. One of my favorite drivers. Exactly. I'm a pepperoni man. He's a pepperoni man. We have a lot in common.
Going green.
And we are going green with Cody Johnson and Chris Parkman leading off the front row. Again, live with Brayton Laster for the finale for the Gears Cup Series. Brayton, again, honored that you're here tonight. I know you have a bright young future in the league. I know the Cup Series. I feel like I hope in my heart of hearts that you make it to the Cup Series, but to make it to ARCA, man, that's got to be cool, right?
It's I've been racing for 12, 13 years. We'll make it about me, I guess, for a moment. It's Cody Johnson.
Can I ask how old you are? How old are you, Brayton?
I'm only 21 years old. I just turned 21 a month and a half ago.
God damn, that is amazing.
But no, I've only been racing, I guess, at the show for the past 2 years. It's a very limited schedule. I'm kind of at the mercy, obviously, of partners and sponsors and whatnot.
Sure.
So, always looking for hope that next big partner. Then we can do a couple more races. They got my first career top 10s for arguably the lowest tier team in the ARCA Menard series. And it was their first ever top 10s as a team, and we got 3 in a row for them to round out the season. As Mike DeWalt is an absolute wheel man. He has those sticker tires that he didn't quite have that last run. They have only about 26 laps to go. They took to the green with 28 or so, maybe 29 to go.
Around there, yeah.
Fuel's going to be tight. And like we said, we get caution like 6 laps, maybe even 10 laps.
I think we'll have definitely one more, for sure.
You're going to be looking at it like, oh man, do I have enough time to get back up front? Am I safe? Am I not safe? If you have a caution with 8 laps to go and you pit and no one else does, you're still 26 cars in the lead lap. You got to work your way around.
Now, I got to interrupt you, Brayton, for just 1 second. Black Sheep MCSC wanted to thank you. It says, very cool having a pro on stream. Thank you for coming out.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's, I don't mind. I don't really get a chance to do this too often, but I definitely appreciate and seize the opportunity where I can. Speaking of seizing opportunity, Mike DeWalt's doing exactly what he needs right now. Being in 4th place, so he can just sit there and cruise all night. It doesn't matter what Cody Johnson does, as long as Mike DeWalt does not fall past 4th place.
He's pretty much got it locked in. As long as he finishes 4th or better, is what I'm getting from you. Is that correct?
Yes, by my math. If you give me one moment, there's someone knocking at my door, so I will be investigating.
Yeah, go answer that pizza man. It's probably a delivery. Pizza man Brayton Laster joining us again. Four-time ARCA Menard Series driver, as well as Craftsman Truck Series driver. So gracious enough to join us with their presence tonight. JS Racing, again, thank you for joining us and following the channel. Black Sheep MCSE, again, a very awesome person. Thank you for joining the chat. All season long, you have been a mainstay. If you whisper or DM me either on Discord or here on Twitch, I have a free Milwaukee Tool t-shirt coming your way. So if you contact me and reach out, you have a free Milwaukee Tool t-shirt coming your way. Thank you, Black Sheep, for following the channel, hanging out, committing to the whole season. Your fellowship and in the chat and following is very well appreciated. Again, in the lead is Cody Johnson. Second is Chris Parkman, Sean Anderson, Mike DeWalt, and Connor Rowe. Your top 5 with Jeremy Bial, Lucas Reed, Perrin Huggins, Jeremy Vandermerel, and Ethan Collier rounding out your top 10. Let's move back here to the biggest mover of the night. Looks like up in 15th, you have Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. in the 48 car. Again, trying to end childhood cancer. Worth native, if you know where that is, then you know where his zip code is. The number 48, representing here in the Gears Cup Series. Thankful for having Robert this season. Again, a chase contender early on, eliminated within the first wave. But damn proud we have that man in the league.
Speaking of being proud, someone's gonna be proud right now. Colby Hogan, 27th, 2 laps down. He was a pole setter. Just a lap or two ago on 10 lap old tires, set the quickest lap of the race at 29.714.
As Brayton pointed out, number 67 Toyota Camry Wonder Bread Machine on the front row. Colby Hogan back in 27th, but not giving a shit.
And here's what that's going to do. Is basically... Oh, they're going to be wrecking right there for 25th. I'm not sure.
Wow!
Caught and simple. It's funny, right as we start talking about someone, they wreck. So that was not for like 25th, but that was right in front of Colby Hogan. That's Matthew Simple and Keaton
Sawyers.
So yeah, Keaton kind of came off the wall there as we were going to go back and watch this. I'm
I'm rewinding it right now. Coming out of 2, where is it? Around 3 and 4?
Right middle of the back stretch.
Okay. So I paused it here. Hold on 1 second. We are in the middle of the back stretch. If I get back to that screen, there we go. We're gonna slow it down. Brayton, feel free. Looks like they touched.
So Keaton gets a big run off of 2. He's the 18 of Justin Vandermeer, up by the wall. Tries to go low, but the 6 and Matthew Simple was just already kind of chilling, Sunday cruising down there. As they both took a pretty hard hit. Keaton Sawyers is going to actually blow up from that. And kind of coast to the pit lane there. Nick Wood's going to get the lucky dog there. That's going to trap Colby Hogan 2 laps down. As we start to get in the final laps of the race, going to be interesting. That's exactly what Mike DeWalt did not want. Because now they're giving guys...
Absolutely. It looks like Keaton had a fast repair. He's going to come back out in 25th. So fortunately for him, he had it in the bag as far as something in the back pocket. Cody Johnson is going to be your leader with Connor Rowe, Perrin Huggins, Lucas Reed, Nathan Fuller in your top 5 with Justin Vandermerel, Casey Hatch, Kyle Munson, Brandon Meyer, and Kenneth Gallman rounding out your top 10. Looks like
this changes everything.
This does change everything. Caution
but
was
not
good.
For what we thought. Mike DeWalt just came in and put tires on. I don't know where he pulled them out from. I don't know what hole in the ground he dug, and there's a set of sticker tires waiting there for him. Mike DeWalt has reached into his urethra, I guess, and pulled out a brand new set of Goodyears. He has slapped them on. We're going to go green here with just about 14 laps to go. And Mike DeWalt, back in the field, is going to be sending it.
Hold on, Brayton.
Oh, you're bending it?
Again, Brayton Laster with us from the ARCA Series and Craftsman Trucks.
Pizza, pizza,
The Pizza Man!
pizza, pizza, pizza.
Joining us here tonight again, Brayton. You're more than welcome any old time. If you have time in your busy schedule to join us, feel free to hang out in the lobby. Again, a wonderful guest to have here tonight for the finale. Couldn't have probably picked anybody better, as it were. Cody Johnson, Connor Rowe in the front row. Cody Johnson, your pick tonight, Brayton.
Yes, so I think he's in an all right position now.
Now? Question mark? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Cody Johnson, Connor Rowe in your front row. Perrin Huggins and Lucas Reed in row 2. Nathan Fuller and Justin Vandermeer in row 3. Casey Hatch and Kyle Munson in row 4. And rounding out your top 10 is Brandon Meyer and Kenneth Gallman. Again, championship contender Mike DeWalt in 15th. Cody Johnson in 1st. And Perrin Huggins looks like hanging out. Let me see if I can find where his goddamn name is. Looks like in 3rd. Don't know how I missed it, but I did, Brayton. That is fun. Again, Cody Johnson leading us off in the 08 car Chevrolet Camaro alongside Connor Rowe in the 5 machine. So we will have 1 to go entering line. And Brayton, I know you mentioned earlier this week that 2024 was kind of left open for you. What do you aspire to maybe hit? Maybe tracks you haven't seen before, or maybe getting back to Daytona? Are you here?
Across the my power button there. So we're having some technical difficulties here.
You're good.
He knocked over the tripod and the microphone and the power cable. But Elliot over here pulled a Mickey Mouse stunt. And as we get ready, are we back green? Are we getting ready to go green? What are we doing here? I don't know.
No. We're gridding up. Did your computer kind of take a shit on you, or what?
No, my cat hit the power button.
Oh, okay. What's your cat's name?
Elliot. That's how we pulled a Mickey
Elliot?
Mouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. We're still going back to green flag racing. Get Connor Rowe and Cody Johnson on the front row, with Cody Johnson being your leader. Lucas Reed, Perrin Huggins in row 2. Justin Vandermeer, Nathan Fuller in row 3. Kyle Munson and Casey Hatch, row 4, with Brandon Meyer and Kenneth Gallman in row 5, rounding out your top 10. If you're keeping score at home, Mike DeWalt is back in 15th place, contending for the victory tonight. But Cody Johnson is going to lead us off in that Ford Mustang on this iRacing server, making hot love to the Geico restart zone.
And talk about the 24 of Fuller. He was in that bad wreck we saw way back on lap 7. So he's doing a fantastic job to get back up in the front of the field here.
Yeah, Fuller moving up into 4th, as Brayton mentioned. Moving up into 3rd as I speak. 4th, excuse me. I can't count. Really has performed well, starting, looks like about 22nd. Now up to 4th. And we have more action in the back. Let's see what happened.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of clicking back, trying to see if I can find somebody. I was given some sort of insight.
I'm gonna go with the 15. Here we go. The number 15 Floyd Stewart missed a shift. Took a dump on his right hand or something. Going to turn 1. He gets clipped by the wall.
Brayden, did you say take a dump on something?
Yeah, we're going to skip that. Yeah, Mike DeWalt had some net code help him in the number 15 there of Stewart, and that just stacked up basically the whole field. He got past 4 or 5 wide, and it did not work out.
Yeah.
And then we talked about
hold on. I'm gonna forward this forward because is that a sentence? I don't know. Give me 1 second. I want to get this moving to an acceptable speed. All right.
No, they were about 4 wide there. So see the number 20, Mike DeWalt. He's got those fresh tires that we talked about. Trying to go as hard and as fast as he can, make up room. Gets net coated. into the number 15.
Oh, yeah, clearly. That was clear and concise right there.
And then at that point, Floyd Stewart is hanging on for dear life. He's death gripping the wheel. He's getting past 3-4 wide and comes up into the 4-7 be all. Nowhere to go, and that's where the caution comes out. No major damage for anyone really involved there.
Yeah.
Just a lot of puckered buttholes and maybe some chiropractor appointments scheduled.
Now, I gotta appreciate you understand the nature of this show, so I do appreciate that a lot. Yeah, you're definitely right about that one. Again, no damage really significant to anybody. Looks like everybody's going to get back to Green Flag Racing. Okay, let's see Black Shape what he says. He goes, thank you for the fun this season. This is really the best stream. Again, last year you really added a little crushed pepper on what we've been done this season. So I do appreciate having you. Cody Johnson, your pick is still in the lead with Perrin Huggins outside of him, with Connor Rowe and Nathan Fuller, with Casey Hatch rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, and you got Lucas Reed up there. We haven't really talked about him much. He started way back in 17th and kind of been just a quiet dog all night. He hasn't really been in any wrecks. Just been pretty smooth sailing for the number 10 of Reed, Justin Vandermeer. He's kind of been in some of the trouble, in and out, avoiding them. Same with Munson, number 40. And they got Brandon So a lot of guys have had pretty quiet races up here in the top of the top 10. Kenneth Gallman, or same deal there. Chris Parkman in the 13. I mean, he hasn't been in any incidents tonight except for that 51 crash. He was a minor part of it. It's been pretty quiet for most of these guys. But then you got Mike DeWalt. We talked about he threw those new tires on out of nowhere, trying to make up. He needs to make up 8 spots if Cody Johnson doesn't lose anything. And we talk about Perrin Huggins, the guy that pretty much needed some luck on his side. He's not going to win the championship, but he said, if I can't win the championship, I might as well damn win the race. And by winning the race, he might actually prevent Cody Johnson from a championship here. Cody needs every point he can get. Basically, as long as I just forgot the guy's name, DeWalt. I wanted to call him Macbeth. I don't know why. But as long as DeWalt doesn't finish inside the top 4, Cody Johnson has a chance to win this thing.
Oh, you are speaking some really good strategy. I mean,
we got
Cody Johnson out front. You got the fresh tires. You got. I mean, this is set up perfectly for Johnson and Huggins. If I'm correlating what you're saying correctly.
Yes and no. I believe we're gonna get the green right here.
Sure.
We're gonna go green with 9 laps to go. You're Mike DeWalt. You're in 10th, and you have 9, or you're in 12th. I'm sorry. And you have 9 laps to go. Basically, you gotta pass a car lap. Basically, you have one. You have a wiggle room there. You can go 1 lap without passing anyone. You have those sticker tires.
Now I know you're not, and nobody who's in this chat looks like we have about 35 to 40 viewers here right now. Nobody takes us the wrong way, but if you're the Rain Man, counting the numbers and doing the math here tonight, where does DeWalt really need to finish in order to secure the bag and win that championship?
Yeah, DeWalt needs to, like we just talked about, 4th. That's where he needs. He needs to get to 4th.
Okay.
If he can finish 4th, it doesn't matter if Cody Johnson wins clean sweep. The only thing that might change is if he gets up to 4th, and then Cody Johnson can set the quickest lap here, which he does not hold currently. Then they tie by my math.
Ooh.
I'm not 100% sure.
That's hot.
I might
That's
be
hot.
wrong. But if they don't tie, it'd be only by a point or 2.
Yeah, well, it looks like Cody Johnson and Perrin Huggins is going to lead us off as pace car lights are off, and we're getting back to Green Flag Racing, the 08 and the 8 on the front row with Nathan Fuller and Connor Rowe following, and Daytona's winner, Lucas Reed, in row 3. Green Flag Racing is upon us as the Geico Restart Zone blesses with us a sun.
Green flag.
And the 8s lead us off. Cody Johnson down and away.
Yeah, Johnson got a real good jump in on Perrin. The exact run he needed to do. Got up front, made a hole, and got in front of Perrin there. So my math was a little bit wrong. He's actually 1 point lesser. So he needs DeWalt to finish 5th is what he needs. DeWalt can finish 4th and still win. It'd only
Okay.
be by a couple points. But he's safe for the most part, just the way played out. Going back through the race, Mike DeWalt won stage 1, did exactly what I needed to do there.
Yep.
Perrin got 2nd, it doesn't really matter because unfortunately people left and mathematically it just doesn't work out for Perrin.
Sure.
Johnson got 20th, all the way back in 20th. I believe. Ooh, we see DeWalt hard on the wall with Brandon Meyer. Going definitely causing trouble. He's losing spots. He's doing the exact opposite of what he needs to do. Stage 2, Mike got 7th, Perrin won, and then Johnson got 10th. So Johnson hasn't gotten really any stage points, got all of them, right? Mike won stage 1, didn't get any points in stage 2. And basically he's got Johnson 31 points down. They both have led laps, so they're still both 31. But
Yeah.
however, they do get those extra 2 laps for leading the most laps. That's going to put Johnson minus 29 by my math. Now, you can get the fastest lap, and that'll give you an extra 3, which will put him at 26, but it doesn't really matter at that point, with the fastest lap currently held by Colby Hogan. I don't think we'll get another fastest lap at all, although what can happen, we saw Colby do his fastest lap on 10-lap old tires, as Mike DeWalt going to get on the apron there, and kind of really fall back. We got only 5 or 6 laps to go in this race, and it is not going for Mike DeWalt's way.
Yeah, he really needs to gain ground and fast. Otherwise, Cody Johnson is going to take the championship. Again, Cody Johnson, Perrin Huggins, Connor Rowe, Nathan Fuller, and Casey Hatcher, top 5 with 5 laps to go. Again, Brayton Laster joining us this evening. Again, thank you so much for joining us on this celebration of the Gears Cup Series.
Thank you.
Perrin Huggins looking to the inside, not going to be able to do it. Connor Rowe hanging out in 3rd, Nathan Fuller hanging in 4th. Sunday drive for Cody Johnson, unless things change. Cody Johnson could very well be the champion.
And Cody can even afford to lose right now a couple spots. He only got 4 laps to go. 4 laps. We've been here for 30 races, thousands of miles, definitely thousands of laps.
Yeah.
And it's all going to come down to basically his last 4 laps right here for Mike DeWalt. He's had a fantastic season, most top 10s, pretty competitive top 5s. Only 1 win. Obviously, he'd like to add a little bit more in that column. He's done everything he's needed to do right, except for these last couple laps. It's just not going his way.
Yeah, he needs to make a move in a hurry. 3 laps to go. Johnson, Huggins, Rowe, Fuller, and Munson, your top 5, with Hatch, Vander Morel, Holmes, Parkman, and DeWalt rounding out your top 10. Johnson win this race. He pretty much seals the deal, if I can speak English. Mike DeWalt has to finish 4th or better to win.
They're coming to 2 to go this time by Mike DeWalt. Kind of turned on the NOS gauge. Has a little bit of fire under his ass. I don't know if I can say that out loud, but we're going to.
No, you
With
can't.
2 to go. He's sitting here looking to go around the outside of Parkman and try to make a move on Holmes. He's been kind of peeking around passing these 2 or 3 guys. He needs to get by him right here, right now, if he has any hope of passing these guys. He's only about half a second, about 5-6 tenths. Oh, they're going to wreck him right from home second. DeWalt, trouble! The 13
no!
run. This is going to bring a caution out. Everything changes. Trouble for DeWalt. They're going to be still wrecking. No,
Oh, and he hit him again! Oh,
that
man,
is not what
Laster.
DeWalt wanted.
That is bad news. It could spell the latest nail in the coffin for Mike DeWalt. Let's back it up and see what we can see. Give me one moment, Laster. Maybe you can walk us through it. Hold on just 1 second.
So, I'm going to go back while we're finding this clip here. We said that DeWalt needed to go, and he needed to go now. And going in the 3 there, obviously everyone else got the same memo. They're coming to the white flag. Last race of the season, you can wreck someone who can be aggressive, doesn't matter, not talk to people for another couple weeks at least.
Now we're looking at him going inside on 3 and 4 on Lucas Reed right now. We have a slow-mo.
We see so number 18 of Justin Vandermeer and number 9 of Trey Holmes. They get together, kind of a bit of a racing incident. Holmes gets sideways. Everyone checks up. The 13 Parkman, nowhere to go, really checks up into the Trey Holmes. And then DeWalt obviously just doesn't really see it happening in front of him, and there's just not enough time to react. Gets in trouble, has a 56 of I'm not sure, Brandon Smith, I'm sorry, get into his behind. He's okay at this point. Then you got the 14 that just kind of comes in here, avoids it, but at that point, the Watt's already spinning, clips the 14. Then it's just not really good. We have Cutlip, who's been in a lot of accidents, none to his own fault really tonight. And the Watt's kind of here cruising. Everyone's coming around. They're all wrecking. Militia, Fitzpatrick, they're all still wrecking and getting spun and whatnot. The Watt's looking not too bad here, not too bad, not too bad. And then here comes out of nowhere the number 15 of Floyd Stewart, who was actually just in that wreck about 12 laps ago. So
yeah,
it's
that is unfortunate as he's trying to get back going to green or getting back to pacing. Goes down to the bottom line, hits the front wall there, or the inside wall, turns 3 and 4. Able to get back straight, but it looks like right now DeWalt's going to be 22nd, and his hopes are going to be all but dashed. Cody Johnson, your leader, going into the finality of this lap, or of this race. Looks like green, white checkers it is. And Braden, your prediction coming true for the 08. Unless if a catastrophe happens, looks like Cody Johnson will very well be your champion.
So if I'm Cody Johnson, I have 2 wins this season already. I have, plenty of top 5s, most top 5s, not the most top 10s. I haven't led that many laps, only 99 laps led of the entire season. So for reference, there have been 3,526 laps going into this race. And Cody Johnson, of his 3,526, has only led 99 of them. So less than a 35th of laps. And he's probably led about a third of the race tonight. So he came in, he did exactly what he needed to do. He wanted to get those most laps led bonus. He got that. He's been up front. He's been dominant. Didn't quite get the stage points he needed. DeWalt kind of put on a good show, good battle early on.
Yeah.
Try and prevent as much as he can. It kind of came back to what I said earlier. DeWalt took those tires earlier.
Now, I got to interrupt you. Hold on. Parent Huggins says, I have nose damage. Don't have anything for it.
So that's definitely interesting for Cody Johnson. At this point, you can just almost cruise. You can, where I was kind of going with that, you can go for the win, you can go for that 3rd win of the season, but you don't have to. If you're side-by-side coming out of 4, and you get spun, and you can't recover, you blow the motor, and you just have to coast, and then at that point, you're looking at, it can be the gap, the points, the values drop tremendously to go down the points.
Sure.
So if you finish 10th, even if it's not 4 spots, if Mike DeWalt finishes, say 27th, I'm sorry, not 27th, but like 21st, Mike DeWalt still wins 11 spots back. So you just really can't afford to be Cody Johnson and make a mistake here. You executed perfectly through second half. I said Mike DeWalt, he can't. I didn't know where he put that second. I'm not gonna lie. I'm amazed. I have no idea where he put that second set tires out from. He kind of did what he had to do. He saved the set till he was even on everyone else. Actually put himself at a good advantage. What that did though is to put him back in the field, to put him back around all these shenanigans as we get ready to go for a green-white checkered here. Our first of 5 attempts. And Cody Johnson should be smooth sailing to his first ever Gears Championship right here.
Yeah, it looks like Cody Johnson and Parent Huggins going to lead us off as the 8s will count it green to the Geico restart zone as the iRacing pace car is going to fall off coming out of turn 4. Again, Mike DeWalt, if you're keeping score at home, looks like he's about 21st, 22nd in the field on the outside lane. Coming to green flag racing, 2 laps to go for Gears presents the finale, the last race of the season for 2023. Let's get after it. Cody Johnson, as long as he maintains, should secure the championship as long as Michael DeWalt doesn't make huge advancement in the field. He is
Cody Johnson.
Go ahead.
Go ahead there.
Go ahead.
Cody Johnson is exactly what I need. He wants to see this white flag. He wants to put the nail in the coffin using the DeWalt nail gun. And they're side by side for second. That's Nathan Poole and Parent Huggins. He wants to see his white flag. He should get it. Looks like he's going to. Cody Johnson, 1 last lap to go around Las Vegas North Speedway, and this championship is his.
Well, it looks like Mike DeWalt is 18th.
DeWalt not really making the advancements he needs to, stuck in traffic, burned up tires. Cody Johnson, smooth sailing, has about 2-3 car length gap, if not more, going into 3, Perrin on the bottom with nothing left. Cody Johnson out of 4.
Cody Johnson, possibly your Gears Cup Series champion and winner of Gears, presents the finale 2023 in Las Vegas.
That was fantastic. He did exactly what he needed to do. He kept his nose clean early throughout the night. He didn't quite get the stage points, but he came alive at the end when he needed to most.
Again, Cody Johnson in the 08 car wins at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for Gears Presents the finale. He is your winner and most likely the Gears Cup Series champion.
If my math is somewhat correct.
Woo! As he's going to take a ride around the front stretch as let's let the celebration begin. Very well could be the champion.
So for reference, Cody Johnson going into the night led 99 laps. Tonight he led 62 alone.
Woo!
To give 161. So he led over half
Damn.
laps tonight than he has all season long. And he's going to go ahead and take home the most laps led bonus too. So basically took a DeWalt nail gun from Mike DeWalt and put the nail in everyone's coffin. Told Perrin, hey, you can run second all you want, not your
All right, we are back with the Gears Cup Series post-race show. I am Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horseboat. Alongside with me, Arca Menard Series racer. Again, part-time Craftsman Truck Series racer, Brayton Laster. For the post-race show, we have a few people in our lobby tonight. Again, the champion as well as the runners-up. Let's start with Connor Rowe. Connor finishing in 4th place. Again, inside of a top 5. Really had a good race here tonight with that Mountain Dew Live Wire Orange Mountain Dew car. Connor, give us a brief description in 30 seconds or less, your experience here tonight.
Oh, heck yeah. That was electric. That was probably the funnest race I've done this year. And I know I definitely had something for Cody there, but man, it was a good win for him. That was fun going back and forth with everyone there. It was enjoyable. Car felt great, had good speed in it, stayed out of trouble most of the night. It was fantastic.
Again, you started 13th, so you had a really solid night. We always saw that orange car here up front. Congratulations. Again, I hope to see you in 2024 for February. Is there anybody you want to give a shout-out or a thank you to at our final broadcast of the season?
As always, Mike DeWalt, and then a special shout-out for Nathan Fuller. That guy's the best.
Fantastic. Connor, you are the man. Again, I hope to see you with us next year in 2024. Again, 2023 survey for the Next Gen Cup Series going out immediately following this race. So any driver in the chat right now looking for that survey will get it shortly. Next up in the chat, again, runner-up. Looks like on this race, Perrin Huggins in the 8 car. Perrin, you put your balls out on the table, but unfortunately wasn't good enough. Top 3 as far as podium. How do you feel in your season in a summary of 1 minute or less? I'm going to give you 60 seconds.
My season was a lot like a dang seesaw, up and down, up and down. Yeah, but it's good to have a second in my last race like that. Yeah, I gave it all I had to pass Cody, man, but I just didn't have it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I know you mentioned you had front end damage or nose damage in the chat, so I mean that was some insight we didn't have. Brayton, I gotta hand it to you, man. You gave us some real insight from a real driver. Do you have any questions for Perrin, who finished in 2nd place?
I'm not gonna lie, Perrin, you actually did a pretty solid job. You kind of did all you could on your part. You got second stage 1 there. You won the second stage. That a lot of laps just really didn't fall in your hands, I guess. You needed, Cody and those guys and DeWalt to have some misfortune. Do you think there's anything you could have done these just past couple races? Like, is there one moment that you look back on, like, man, if only I changed or did that differently, you think you could have maybe won a championship tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Not rage quit at Road America.
I knew exactly what you were talking about, Perrin. I knew it.
If I stayed in that race, I think I could have maybe won it. Maybe it's possible.
Oh, you're bending it?
Perrin, I'm so proud of the finish that you had here tonight. 2nd place, that is nothing to shout about. Again, congratulations on an awesome season. And again, thank you for joining us here for the interview tonight.
Yep, thanks, man. And I cannot wait to be back with y'all next season. Bring it.
Your ass better be in the recruitment race here shortly following this race, as well as back in 2024. Perrin, you are one of my favorite drivers. The most, in my personal opinion, one of the most exciting racers to watch in the league. Doesn't matter that you have, the number of Kyle Busch, but you guys match that personality. So congratulations, man. You had a great fucking year, and looking forward to 2024.
Yep, thanks, buddy. I will give y'all a show for sure.
Right on, right on. Nathan Fuller next up in the Operation Motorsport United States Army Toyota Camry 24. Again, not finishing probably where he wanted to be. Again, third place, not bad here tonight, but not in as far as the championship contender. So Nathan Fuller, also one of my favorite drivers that I like to watch on the track. Give us your brief summary or breakdown of what you experienced this 2023 season.
I mean, just the season altogether, probably one of the best put leagues I've been in a while. Hell of a competition. You know, these guys all give it their all and put it all out there. So, and as for the hosting from Tom Truly over here, and then of course the admins on the backside, it's all great, and I'm really excited for this little winter season we got coming up, and then following with the 2024 season.
Right on. Thank you for the segue again. Next, in November, we're gonna start with the truck series coming up here. Again, following this race, we're going to take a little bit of time off. The survey is going to dictate where we go with the dates to be announced. I will actually go live to let you guys know when that's going to be. But at the moment, Daytona is going to be our kickoff in early November. Stay tuned. I will probably about a week from now have an idea of what the date is going to be for that. Nathan, again, the number 24 machine has rocked in the Operation Motorsport United States Army Toyota Camry. I appreciate you coming out here joining us for this broadcast. Again, falling short of the championship of 2024 looks bright for you, sir.
Thank you.
Another man on this docket here tonight, Mike DeWalt. Again, an admin ownership in our league. Currently running through points with Matt Albert. Hopefully we'll get that here shortly so I can update that and give people kind of a look at what they are going to see here for the last time here in the 2023 season, I should say. Well, probably not the most finest way to end the season, but how are you feeling going through this last race here at Las Vegas?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for everyone for putting this on. I mean, all the drivers that came out. I mean, I think that was the highest attendance we've had all year, which we ended up on a real high note. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for sticking with us. Best season on record, obviously. That was an amazing race, a banger of a finale. Can't thank everybody enough for making it happen. That being said, obviously had a really good first half of the race, was doing what I needed to do. But, we were at that point with about 30 laps to go where I had to make a decision. Do I take 4? Do I take 2? Do I stay out? I took 4, even knowing track position was really important. I thought I could get past all the cars. We had plenty of green flags laps to get it done, and just didn't. So I definitely kicking myself on the pit strategy. Probably should have took 2. I don't think I would have been able to hold on with no tires. But yeah, it is what it is. That's racing. Try to do my best. Had a really ugly last 20 laps.
I wouldn't say it's ugly, Mike. I don't mean to interrupt you, man, but you ran a hell of a race. You had a hell of a season. You can't. I mean, I know you're disappointed because it didn't work out as far as points wise for you to take home the championship. But damn, man, you had a hell of a season.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just wanted to apologize for the people I did kind of put in difficult positions trying to come up back through the field. Obviously, that's my doing, and I take responsibility for it. That's not the picture we want to paint for the league going forward. It's not okay. But yeah, I was giving it all I had at the expense of a couple people. But yeah, and again, all credit to Cody. He definitely had the fastest car. He had the best pit strategy when it counted. He definitely rebounded from the adversity of the first half of the race. So that was a crazy. I couldn't have scripted that to go how it went. But it was super nerve-wracking on those final 2 restarts or final 3 restarts, where it's I need to finish 4th if he wins the race. So
sure,
because I think he would have won by like 1 or so points. So it was a lot of drama late. Couldn't have scripted it like that. But yeah, all credit to Cody. He really. I mean, he told me, he warned me, Las Vegas is my best track, and he definitely delivered on that. So all kudos to him, and looking forward to racing him in the future and going forward.
Yeah,
and if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, go ahead, Brayden.
Not interrupt you. Mike, you sat there and rewatching me talk to you early on. You were involved in the accident, got minor bumper damage about lap 20 after that first stage. You came in early. You took a set of tires. and you sat there and you had to save that extra set. We started coming in with about 10, 15 laps to go, and you threw on that extra sticker set. Where were you hiding it? How did you make up that extra set? Because I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting here watching. I was like keeping track. I have a notebook page of notes. It looks incredible.
I love
And
that.
so, and like I'm sitting here, I'm
The
like, I need to have
commitment.
tires. And you go down pit road, and I see him jack up the right side of your car, and my jaw about hit my left toe. I was like, oh. So I don't know. You want to talk us through a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was able to save a set of tires like midway through the race. I don't remember exactly where I was or where I was running. It was in the top 3. I mean, Cody was out front. I think it was someone, and then Sean, and then me. And so I was behind the 14, back and forth. I slipped a few positions. Again, didn't have tires. And then fortunately, the caution came out with I think the 61 got in a wreck. And I was about P7 right there. So I was able to survive on those old tires about 6 laps before I had to pit with everybody else. So even if the caution didn't come out, I'd still stay in the top 10. But that caution definitely helped. And then I gained a couple positions on pit road, taking 4 even. So it really played out well with that caution, and I was able to kind of survive on old tires.
Because we were sitting there, and I was like, okay, here's where he didn't need. He came down on lap 30, or with 30 to go, he took his final set. And now we have a caution. After this, he's pretty much screwed, and championship hopes are over. And then we had that caution with 17 to go. And I was sitting here when that 61 and the 67, I believe, got together in front of you. I was like, okay, he's done for. And then they jacked the car up, like I mentioned, and I was blown away. So I got to give huge kudos to you. I mean, it was... The way you were driving, it would look like you were hanging on for dear life, and you were on old tires. And you just—I don't know how you did it. That was some impressive driving.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Definitely the drinking's gonna start no matter what after the race. I told myself, so definitely gonna celebrate here with everybody else and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Mike, for hanging out. And I know you got to be disappointed with the second place finish in the championship points, but again, a good whole season as a whole. I can't believe I just said that, but it's a good season as a whole for you to finish second. I know that has got to be heartbreaking, but again, a good year for you. Again, 2 years in a row where you finished runner-up. Hopefully next year in 2024 you can finally get over that hump and get that championship.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Now, I will let you know right now, I got to give a shout-out to Deck2237 and Chris Parkman15 for the follows here tonight as we're moving up into 261 followers for the evening. I will shout out, we have 30 spots open right fucking now for Talladega Super Speedway. Brayton Laster has said he would join us for the Gen 6 Cup cars for the Gears recruitment race. That is up right now. So if you're currently watching this and want to join Gears Cup Series drivers, please join us in that race here in the Holstead here currently. I have to move on because it's important. The champion of the 2023 Gears Cup Series, Cody motherfucking Johnson, pulling out the inevitable championship run at the end. Las Vegas, Mike quoted as Cody's best track. And here he is talking to you about Cody. Brayton, take it away, Cody. Give us a 30-second or less description on how your night went.
It started off really kind of really hectic there, and I had to once I had that incident right off the bat, I had to go to the back, and I started racing frustrated. I just wasn't racing smart, and I had to take a deep breath and calm back down because I knew it was a long race, but it just wasn't where I wanted to be. So I had to take a breather, kind of gathered myself up back there in the back, and just tried to come up with a strategy in my mind that would work and get me back closer to the front. Once I got back up there, I just it was kind of out of my hands at that point. I only do what I could do from the lead, so it was kind of all in Mike's hands at that point where he finished, and we kind of had it calculated up that he kind of needed to be 5th or 6th back, not any closer than that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Most of the time my luck doesn't go that way. So I'm thankful that it did. I'm excited, but that was a wild one. That was really stressful, the whole race for me.
Yeah, and early on you got into some interesting action and incidents. Brayton, do you have any questions for him as far as that goes?
Yeah, Cody, man, that was the drive of the century and a half. Kind of like Perrin, you did exactly kind of what you needed to do, but not early on, like making run that lap 7 crash. You finished 20th in stage 1, no points there. 10th in stage 2, no points there. And you pretty much hit it spot on. It's kind of in Mike's hands. And was there any pressure, I guess, to really go? I mean, at that point, you can win the race and make your job a little bit easier. But did you think about maybe letting parents slide by there for second or third? Try not, because you know if you wreck, you're done no matter what. So did you have any thoughts about maybe just letting that second and third place guy go and just trying to maybe hope Mike had some bad luck, which ultimately happened, or?
Negative. It never crossed my mind to let Perrin go. He whoops up on me all the time on iRacing, so that's never letting Perrin go is never in the vocabulary. Maybe Connor or Nathan or somebody like that, but Perrin he did help me there. We kind of worked out the restarts to where I could drop down in front of him, and it gave me a little bit of a cushion there. But I do definitely owe Perrin one, just because he knew how important it was for me to kind of maintain up there and just let the cards fall where they fell with Mike, and like I said, luckily it fell in my favor, and I appreciate everybody that raced with me tonight. Sean, Lucas, Ryan, Perrin, Brandon, all them. We were all kind of strategizing on how to get back to the front, and luckily it panned out.
I got to give you congratulations, Cody. Again, last year in 2022, I really thought you were going to be our champion on NASCAR Heat 5. Making the switch to iRacing, you made it look so goddamn easy, and you are the Gears Cup Series champion. Congratulations to you, sir. Is there anybody tonight that you want to give a shout-out to or a special thanks before we end the stream tonight?
Just y'all for putting together a really good league and something to look forward to every week. Looking forward to next season when it starts, and like I said, you do an outstanding job broadcasting. I've passed it along tonight, so hopefully you got a few extra viewers there. And like I said, I just appreciate y'all having me. It was fun.
Now, I have one more question.
Yeah, Brayton, shoot, man, shoot. Brayton again.
So, Cody,
go ahead.
Going into tonight's race, Cody, you only led 99 laps out of 3,526. That's only 2.8%. You led 44% of the laps tonight. So I wasn't obviously here for the entire season, but just looking at stats, you can tell you're kind of a conservative driver. You kind of take it easy. You don't mind being up front. Was that mentality kind of that Alan Kawicki mentality? You had to be up front to try and make up those points. You had to lead the most laps. Like you had to get those extra bonuses for leading the most laps. Was that mentality in the back of your head as a, hey, maybe I can get points on Mike this way, or?
Yeah, so after last week, I do feel that way. Like I don't race needing to lead. Obviously, I look to try to lead the last one, of course, but I've never felt pressured to lead the most laps or be out front every single lap. But coming into tonight, I knew that I needed to maximize on points, and I felt confident that I could going into the race before we started. But after that first incident, I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get back up there. But yes, that was my goal when I got back, to be more aggressive than I usually am. Try to get the lead, try to hold it, and try to maximize on points and lead the most laps there.
Yeah, fantastic drive once again. That was incredible.
I appreciate it.
Now, I'm going to put that out there here tonight so people can see what the hell we're looking at. Give me just 1 minute if I can zoom in on this. I probably can't, but I'm going to try to anyway. Cody Johnson wins with 4,735 points. 49 points behind is Mike DeWalt, and Perrin Huggins negative 75 points behind. So again, it was a nail-biter all the way up to the end of the season. Cody Johnson is your 2023 Gears Cup Series champion and will reign over next season in the 2024 into February. Brayton Laster, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Is there anybody you would like to give a special shout out or thank you to?
I'd like to thank everyone in the league. You guys kind of entrusted me to not get you guys canceled, and you guys put on a fantastic show. And thank you to Mike and the rest of the administrative team, and Thomas for the broadcast and everything you guys do. Fantastic league, fantastic group of guys. I just thank you guys for having me here.
Brayton, now I can't speak for the rest of the Gears Racing League, but personally myself as the broadcaster for you, special guest joining us as me, for a color commentary, you are welcome anytime, and you are welcome to stay here for the 2024 season. Do you have any plans for 2024 or anything coming up as far as your career?
Nothing we can announce currently.
Well, if you can announce it, we would like to be the first ones to know. But in any case, for the Gears Cup Series, Brayton Laster, thank you for joining us for the finale here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Cody Johnson is your 2023 Gears Cup Series champion. For Brayton Laster, my name is Tom Torrey, a.k.a. The Horse Boat. Thank you for joining us this evening, and hope to see you for the Gears recruitment race here at Talladega coming up shortly. Have a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Until February, this is the Gears Cup Series, where championship racing lives here. Good night.